Hello, everyone, and welcome to Aneria, the Shattered Realm, episode 26.
Whoa!
Episode. I mean, interchangeable.
26? That's how old I am.
Really? Perfect.
Episode?
That's half my age. Because, older men are distinguished, right? That's what it is. Sure.
No, that's how old we are.
Exactly. Welcome back, everybody. We're so happy to be here. Welcome back, Dallin. Glad to see you're feeling better again.
Yay, we missed you.
A crazy episode last time.
Oh, no.
Don't worry, not too much happened, just a lot of...
I heard Bolt is pretty pissed off.
Bolt and Fred, it's kind of tensions all around.
They're fighting each other
mutually.
mutually.
Yes.
So everyone needs to go get a drink.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But they can't because the cask of white Anerian got chucked off of the ship somehow.
Victor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Vicky.
But again, we'll get to that in a moment here. First of all, a couple reminders, etc., like we like to do. Liking, comment, subscribing. If your name is, I don't know, say Matt.
Mercer.
Last name Mercer, sure, why not?
Thanks for watching.
You especially need to this episode. You know what? If your name is Matt, you do need to comment this episode. You don't have to say that my name is Matt. Just comment something. A spoon.
The word something.
Yep, we liked the spoons last time.
Spoons, big spoon, little spoon?
No,
spoon?
a dinner spoon. Like
dinner spoon.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Also, don't forget to join us on Twitch on Fridays and on YouTube, where we stream for a couple hours. Either we're doing a nice little paint session with Scott and Cory, where Cory will sit there and look up lists on his phone.
Okay, I need a wig now.
Yep.
I have one.
Bob Ross wig?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bob Ross does hot
got
goss. That's what it is. I can't wait to
we
watch.
need to get some deep fake technology going on so that we can start that show.
Is that on the budget?
I wouldn't tarnish his good name.
Yes, yeah.
Sorry.
Owen Wilson's already doing that.
We need we need like an off-brand Joy of Painting intro song.
And then that's the other half of our streams is Preston doing very cursed artwork.
Extremely cursed.
So last session we wanted you to draw a really cool barbarian pig centaur, right? Scott was like, I was hoping for a buff, pig, and you went full on pig feet and pig head.
Yeah.
You went spirited away, parents turning into pig.
Yes.
It was very well done.
It was well done, but it was also...
It was like Pan's Labyrinth a bit. It was
Ew.
a bit scary.
There's a lot of movies that do pig stuff. That sounds weird to say it like that. I'm not gonna.
Pigs must just be creepy. Yeah, I think it's that. Ugh.
You know, creepiest pig ever is Piglet. No, it's in Hannibal.
Oh, deer.
Where it's the giant pigs that the one guy has. He's gonna feed him to Hannibal, and then spoiler alert, Hannibal ends up pushing him into the pen, and they eat him instead. Yeah, it's good. Gary Oldman's character, he plays a good character in that. Anyway, that's not important to the game at all, but there you go.
That's a taste of what the show can be.
Exactly.
That's our heights.
That's what we do on the stream is we talk about whatever. I sit there and I look up a list for a couple minutes and not pay attention to.
We can talk about if he actually says hello, Clarice, or whatever he says. What is it that he actually says?
That's true. A lot of those get shortened down just to the shorthand, and then people forget about it.
Is the Mandela effect, or
He doesn't say what?
good afternoon, Clarice? I'm pretty sure that's what he says.
Does he say
Stop.
hello, Clarice? I'm sorry. We have to.
Oh no.
He says good evening, Clarice.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yes.
It's the Clarice.
Yeah.
He's
Too
so
much of a
gross.
gentleman is the reasoning why he wouldn't say hello, Clarice.
Yeah.
I
makes sense.
Gentleman
He is a sir.
line.
But everyone you talk to, they go, hello, Clarice, and they know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's not in the movie.
Yeah.
And lastly, merch store. Not lastly, but merch store. We're gonna cut some of that. No.
We're keeping it in.
Okay. We'll see what editor
You always
Cory
get
decides.
the long cut.
You have to do the you do. You have to do a
I got
Crickets.
a really squeaky
no,
chair.
I
I
was
just
gonna say
realized.
just a fart
back?
noise.
A fart noise.
Because it was brain
Might be
fart.
starting to
Okay.
break.
yeah.
Get it?
Alright,
Oh,
sure.
shoot.
Just like
Okay,
a really
I'll try
low,
and be-
squeaky one.
Yes.
We can swap back.
No, That's okay. I'll just speak.
Oh my gosh. Okay, sure. But check out our merch store. We've got some cool little designs in there, some swim trunks that say Tinkus West on them. It's a good time. And lastly,
And some baby dwarf stickers.
maybe some baby dwarf stickers.
A baby dwarf.
Ooh, very nice.
By the time this video comes out, yes. Right now,
Next
no.
week.
Next
week.
Next week,
Well,
yeah.
that's not what I'm so.
You're putting yourself on a timer here.
Easy peasy.
Write it down. I think both of the ones you did.
I have all the time in the world.
And then, of course, Syrinscape. Thank you so much. We love you guys for providing such wonderful sound effects that give us a wonderful... It's not a cow tonight.
Was that
One.
That was
Actually,
thunder.
no, it's a whole bunch of cows running through the clouds, their hooves.
Ah, darn it. Almost
That's
got
how
away
it thunders in Aneria.
from it. It's the Sky Cows. Everybody knows the
about
Sky
the Sky
Cows.
Cows.
Rose Sky
You guys,
Cows.
you know the song,
And it
right?
rains
Yeah.
milk.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a weird world.
Yeah. Ooh, baby,
Rain is baby milk. Or baby food. But yeah, we love Syrinscape. They provide wonderful sound effects. They're not a sponsor of the stream, or of the game
Yeah.
yet.
Jinx.
Yeah.
At us, you know. But yeah, we love them anyway. Speaking of sponsors, you got your shirts, right?
Yeah.
I did.
Sky.
Yeah,
good.
they're in my backpack.
Okay, cool. I'm not gonna make you show them off on stream.
They're
We're cutting this
really
part,
cool.
but yeah, I just wanted
They're
to
so cool.
make sure you got them.
An old cowpoke went riding out one dark and windy day.
Yeehaw!
And upon a ridge he rested as he went along his way.
This
No,
is
I might
this
have
is
to
what
have
you
you
get
switch.
if you pay for the
Trying to
membership.
channel?
This
Yeah.
is what you get.
the devil's hurt.
Raw and uncut.
Completely uncut.
Yeah.
It really is bad to have us we just like egg each other on.
Actually, that would be a good members channel to do. Is just post the video completely.
As
Yeah,
is,
you get
no
it as
editing.
is. All the mess ups, all the jokes are like
all the racy jokes, all the racist jokes. You know what? Maybe this isn't a good
you
idea.
get. You know, this is the NC-17
All the 10
cut.
10-minute long bathroom breaks.
Oh, maybe cut those. You never know.
Not on that.
All right.
Go
Well,
on there.
without further ado, let us get into tonight's game with a little bit of a recap on what happened last time. The party finally left Aneria, the landmass, on their way to Arkonis. But before they left Archdom, they were approached by a wonderful, very mistreated gnome, in my opinion, named Morbant, who is an engineer, and he asked to accompany them. Basically saying that he would help with the engines. He's a good engineer. He knows his way around an airship. And he also had some cargo that he wanted to take to Arkonis.
What was his ancestry again?
He's a gnome.
No.
Its full name is Morbant, Vesselwrench, Quisler, Abominatus, Rothbane, Fowler.
There's also a
Fancy.
Morbid in there now, too, because
Fred
that's...
calls him morbid.
Morbid.
Yeah.
Okay.
But specifically, he wanted to deliver mana crystals because mana is a little bit scarce out in Arkonis from what he's been hearing, what the reports are. He was cajoled into providing Fred with one of these mana crystals, and almost cajoled into providing others with mana crystals as well before Bolt stepped in and finally stopped it.
He poo-pooed.
Good
Yes.
guy, Bolt.
But Victor
Yeah.
did get a wedding present.
Yes,
Ooh.
you got some wine.
Champagne.
Yeah.
Champagne.
Or champagne, yeah.
No, it was wine. Was it wine?
I thought it was wine.
Yeah, I think it was wine.
Who knows? We
writing.
never got to drink it because
Yeah, you
used
shattered
to
it.
christen
You
the
used it to christen the
ship.
ship.
Yep, I christened the ship with it.
And
now has a name.
Victor also. Oh yeah.
We did decide the Wayward Wanderer.
Okay.
And Victor also threw a barrel at the gnome.
Now,
For what reason is up for
now
debate.
we were testing to see what his skill set was, and he had a cool shield when the first thing hit. So we figured if it's a cool shield, surely the cask would be fine.
Sure.
It was
And you
not fine.
flattened him.
It went through the shield, and he got really mad.
And covered in
Goat's milk.
Goat's milk.
white
Curdled.
Anarian.
Curdled goat's milk.
Yeah.
But then
Well
the party. Have Syrinscape up. I don't know if I like this or not.
Dueling Syrinscape.
I mean, it takes off some pressure, but it also adds different
That's
pressure.
true. That's true. I should just give you. Yeah, okay. This is gonna get. This is gonna get dicey really fast.
Yes, it will.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Anyway, the party
I'm
left
practicing
Aneria.
for next time with the puns. So.
Made a stop at one of the mini asteroids that are kind of a ring around Aneria, which is a terrible children's game that nobody plays, by the way.
Guessed.
Yes,
guessed.
they found a little abandoned house, and inside they found a bunch of animated cutlery.
Silverware and plates.
Yep.
And we hired them for the galley.
Yeah, hired them for the galley, and then immediately
just like home.
press ganged them into service as a potential new army
Yes.
for Fred,
Fred's-
so that
Fred's
she could
starting
fight
an
her
army.
father with silverware. Which is
This sounds really
I'm sorry.
familiar.
Your dad is like sitting like on his throne. There's like an army of Arcanum, and you just open the door and there's just silverware behind, like shooting out after you. That's a pretty good image. I'm not gonna lie.
It's like she's a knife dancer.
But then things took a little bit of a weird turn. I would say a little bit of a
We were hazing.
We were already super weird, so we came back around.
So
Yes.
Aramis is the anchor of the group.
yes. It's
You ratted me out
Hey,
last time.
Guys.
you were very in your own head as far as
My favorite part is everyone is slamming doors because and Cory goes, Aramis just opens the door and then slams it. Doesn't say anything.
But yeah, so Victor, sorry.
Who's Preston?
Victor and Fred attempted to
He's my character.
kidnap, essentially, Morbant and
Why?
hang him upside down off
We're
of the
hazing
gangplank,
him.
blindfolded.
We were
As a
trying.
hazing.
Not the Wayward Watch?
Got the wayward part down.
Listen, this is why we can't
No.
Fred and
You need
Victor
some
cannot be left
grown-ups.
alone together because
Yeah.
they
True.
make too much trouble.
It's true.
Okay.
I will have to separate you guys eventually, I'm sure. But Bull managed to intercept. Morbant's sentries were also attacking Fred a little bit, and took the two of them upstairs, apologized to Morbant, and then basically admonished,
Berated?
something like that.
He said he was
I told
very
him. I said
disappointed.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Ooh, ultimate dad.
Yep.
Yeah.
At which point, Victor went off to go help John Broom, who is the swabby on the ship, and kind of figure out how to take a bath and then go to sleep,
yes.
because he's hasn't been human very long. And Fred and Bolt started to have a little bit of a heart-to-heart, where Fred opened up a little bit, and Bolt mentioned that there was somebody that he wanted to kill, what was your exact phrasing there?
So we were talking about.
Who you want
I
to
can't
kill?
remember I can't remember how we got there exactly, but basically,
She wants to
Fred
kill her
said
father.
something like,
I find it hard to believe that there's nobody that...
"Nobody that you want to kill," and I said, "Well, I never said that. There is someone I would like to kill." And then Fred went, "But you said you'd never murder," and I said, "I would never murder, but it doesn't mean I don't want someone dead."
Oh, yeah.
And then Fred tried to...
And then Fred said, "I
Pry.
want their name."
tried to get Bolt to open up in return.
I wasn't ready yet to say.
Yeah.
Which, as an out-of-character thing, it's because Scott didn't have the name.
I didn't have the name. I came up with it like right after.
Yeah.
I sat down and I was like, I gotta figure this out.
Yeah. But at which point, Bolt was very upset, or not Bolt, Fred was very upset, called Bolt one of her brothers. At which point, the door slamming began. And yeah.
I got a
so
very
that
good
was-
lesson to what it's like to have siblings.
Yeah. Basically,
Nice.
because Victor doesn't have siblings. Bolt doesn't have siblings that he knows of.
Aramis does.
Aramis, I have
Aramis does.
a
So Aramis,
brother or sister.
so Aramis
younger
was the
than
kind
me?
of one.
You're just being secretive about it. A brother
I need to
or
reread
sister.
my backstory.
I think you're an only child.
I think I'm an only child
I
this time.
believe that's the case.
And
This
so
time.
it's
need
all
to
of us
reread.
like, she's like, okay,
been a
I'm gonna
minute.
project my brothers on you all, and then we're all playing the parts.
I mean, that was kind of the theme for the Wayward Watch characters. Is all
That's
of them
right. That's right.
were only children.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a found family thing.
Yeah.
Until
exactly.
Fred came along.
It taught us how to be dysfunctional.
How to actually,
Yes.
we were
Embrace
functional.
the dysfunction.
So that was the end of the fourth night into a 7-day journey through the Astral Sea. We begin tonight with what it constitutes morning as far as it goes. Everybody's gotten their long rest, their 8 hours, that sort of thing. And you wake to the sound of manta rays cawing in the distance.
Oh.
Sorry, astral manta rays cawing in the distance.
What
Do they
sound
move?
do they make?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
whale
exactly.
sounds?
It's kind of like a whale sound. No. And every now and then
moment,
they'll
I
just
thought
like
it
bring
was
a
a whale.
fin up and just go. But like really loud and echoey. Yeah.
Sweet.
And Bolt, you actually probably have had a little bit more time to think than most because you haven't had to
Yeah, I
sleep as much.
don't necessarily sleep. I do my just watch stuff.
So I would say that you're the first awake. What are you going to do on this fine day?
I will have spent the last 30-40 minutes in the galley,
Okay.
and I'm making a breakfast for someone as kind of a olive branch. I'm making breakfast out of an olive branch. No.
Yes. The plates and the knives and the forks are helping you.
Yes.
Making an olive
yes.
branch for breakfast.
That sounds
So I'm gonna take what I've made.
Unless you're an Arkonos.
And I'm gonna go and when it's appropriate, like the equivalent of dawn or whenever around when Fred would normally get up, I'm gonna go and knock on Fred's door.
So you actually arrive at Fred's door, and there is a note stuck to it with a dagger basically pinning it in place. Torrey, would you read the note that Fred left for Bolt?
I would
In her voice, of course.
be pleased to do.
Is this? How did she get one of Victor's daggers? That's weird.
And there are 2 forks standing.
Oh yes, that's right. There are 2 forks standing sentry, and they do like kind of lean forward as you approach, as if menacingly.
Okay.
My forks are bigger.
Attention, Bolt. If that's even your real name, it's difficult to gauge one's integrity when one purposely withholds information from one's colleagues, whom one supposedly trusts with one's life, but not with one's sensitive personal information.
How did she enchant it to sound just like her? It's so weird.
Magic mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
You are hereby forbidden from speaking to me, looking upon me, breathing the same air as me.
I don't breathe.
Well,
I literally pause mid, but I don't, okay.
knocking on my door,
Ronald Weasley.
or otherwise attempting to interact with me in any way, shape, or form. My army has been given exhaustive instruction on enforcing the bolt ban, and have direct orders to fire at will, should you violate my written declaration of your banishment from my presence. Furthermore, I take great pleasure in informing you that while Brander may have the most punchable face in all of Aneria, yes, his reputation precedes him, it is you that holds the record for most punchable face in all of the Shattered Realms. I took a poll and you won by a landslide. Victor, keep up the excellent work. Friend, Aramis, we're still on for tea later. Signed, Winifred Rosacier Bloodbane.
And at that point, as you finish it, a sugar cube tinks off of the side of your head from one of the spoons.
They set up a catapult.
Yes, yeah. One of the spoons is the catapult, and there's 2 other spoons that are like loading it.
Like
So I'm
little
gonna-
tiny jumping noises.
I'm gonna take the plate that I have, and I'm gonna set it on the floor.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go, I know I'm not supposed to interact with you, not Fred, but I have a gift for you, and then I'm gonna walk away.
Okay. So Fred, you've been awake for a little bit. You heard Bolt approach. However, you wanted to prepare for if he was going to break the treaty, and then you hear Bolt say that. So what is your response? What do you do?
She waits until she hears
Clomp,
that
clomp,
he's
clomp.
gone.
I make sure I clomp a little harder.
They are
just
gone.
So...
Oh, I said it.
It's okay. Just...
Yay! I need that dice back, actually. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know what happened. It went like pew.
Alrighty.
It's over there somewhere.
I don't want dice on the floor for a dog
Oh, yeah.
or
No
a new
bueno.
puppy.
Dice on the ground.
No bueno.
I feel like it went clear over there.
Over there?
I don't know.
Look underneath the curtain, Cory. You might have fallen that way.
This is the kind of content you get.
Yeah, pay us money to watch Cory look for dice off camera while we don't do anything because we're not good friends.
The weirder this gets.
Okay, help me.
And now I have to help you because I just called this all out.
I don't, like... I
saw it hit here and then drop on the ground. It's a D6. Of course, I had to throw the.
Is that the one?
Is that it? Where was it?
What's the?
Preston found it and then handed it to me.
How long ago?
20 or 30 seconds.
I looked over at Scott and you both were like, there you go.
Since you're handing out D6s, would you please hand me one of your epic dice back? No, just kidding. Worth it! Worth it!
Oh man.
So you wait till they're gone.
Yes, I wait till they are gone. And then I crack open the door.
And the forks turn around and they kind of give, like, they turn towards the meal and then they, like, sharpen their tines like, you want us to take care of this, boss?
I will dispose of the evidence. And she grabs a plate and shuts it.
When you pull the plate away, something flutters to the ground.
What? My name is Volmer Presdy.
Just say my? Damn it.
His name.
I'm like, what is
I screwed it up. That's his name. Oh. Okay.
Wait.
That's the name of the person
I already forgot it, but I don't need to hear it. So it's okay.
that he wants to kill.
It's not somebody you've met before, that's what you're wondering.
My name.
No, I literally
My
just
name.
straight up immediately forgot what it was after you said it.
Good. Way to not metagame, here's an epic die.
Yay, stupidity!
Always works in your favor.
I'll tell you
then-
what it is, though. Just, out of character.
No, it's okay. I don't
Okay.
want to know.
He doesn't want to know.
I mean, do you want to say, probably should say it one more time without the my, so that our audience.
I'll start it. His name is Volmer. What kind of name is Volmer? His parents must have hated him. Volmer Presdy. Volmer Presdy. Did I say it right? Okay.
Yep. And then do you partake of the meal as well?
So, yeah, she opens the door again and grabs one of the forks.
You hear
Sorry
a
to
small,
do this.
a small squeak.
I'm sorry to do this, but may I please use you to eat?
I don't know how better to say this. It stands at attention as like a regular fork. So
Perfect.
You can use it.
She kind of cuts a piece and brings it up to her mouth and...
It is the saltiest thing you have ever tasted in your entire life. Like, think ocean water, but like 10 times saltier.
Okay. She'll open the door and scream, "Bolt!"
And then you hear, ha, pranked.
Did he seriously just prank me?
Bazinga!
Because remember, you talked about
Yes.
siblings prank each other.
It's so infuriating. I can't handle this right now.
Okay. And I believe that shriek of Bolt probably wakes up Aramis and Victor. What would you two like to do on this fine day in the Astral Sea?
Finally come out of my room.
Yeah. So you've had enough time
What's
to.
been going on?
Seriously been in
With
there
this real
for 4
screen,
days.
you hear the sound. It's like darts hitting the door, but it's like all of his daggers just go hit the door, and the door just.
A spoon like leans in to look.
Is everything okay out there?
And then she'll open the door again and throw the plate with the food across the hall.
He'll
And slam the door.
He'll slowly close the door with the daggers again.
You're like,
I'll be out
come
in
back.
a minute.
So, Aramis,
Yes.
because it's been a minute since we've caught up with you
Yeah.
after your recent conversation with
Pranked.
Zolos.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
I think that would have taken a lot out of him. Like,
Okay.
he was probably just like down for the count for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like fever dreams, like just racking his brain, like what the hell just happened. So I think he's finally kind of like out of that funk.
Okay.
But yeah, that's probably where he's been mentally.
And so you probably step out of your room, and we'll say that you actually run right into John, who kind of stumbles a little bit, and he goes, "Oh, hey,
It's Aramis.
Aramis, right? I'm John.
Broomsman.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Do you need your room cleaned?
Why not?
Excellent." And he grabs his mop and he goes, "Victor says I'm only supposed to use this on the floor. You don't want it on the bed, right?"
Correct.
Okay. You're gonna have a dirty bed. Whatever. And then he kind of like shimmies around you a little bit to get into your room and just starts swabbing your deck, as it were.
I imagine him as
That could
Amelia
be-
Bedelia.
He's totally Amelia Bedelia. Yeah.
See it.
That's
And then
Then I'll go
Calendar.
to the galley area and see if there's something I can make breakfast.
so
or
you
whatever.
you turn towards it, and again you're kind of interrupted in your step by three like five-limbed, almost starfish-like sentries that are skittering past, followed by a gnome who goes, "Good morning."
Good morning.
But yeah, you make it to the galley with no problem, and there is a bunch of silverware and plates and cutlery flying about everywhere. And they all kind of stop and turn towards you as you enter, and just kind of like hover, waiting.
I'm not even gonna ask. I'm hungry. Just keep walking.
And they will pick up again, and they will actually like start like pulling ingredients onto the counter for you. They're not like good cooks, but they're pulling the ingredients
helpful.
together
Cool.
at least. Yeah.
Cool. I'll make breakfast with these fun little,
Yeah.
silverware.
Going from
Flatware.
complete weird depression about your a conversation with
to
God
enchanted
to
cooking.
Can I come back downstairs at this point?
if you'd like to. Yeah.
Aramis, how are you feeling?
Oh, hey, Bolt. I'm fine. A bit under the weather, but I'm doing all right.
Good. I don't know if you've met our guest,
Was that the
the gnome. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's the one.
That was a sentry. I mean, I got it.
Yes, that is Morbent, Vessel Wrench Quisler, Abominatus, Brothbane Fowler. He
Morbid.
says we can just call him Morbent.
Morbid, all right.
Morbent.
Right, morbid.
No, like the more.
The fork flutters away.
All right.
He has offered to help us with ship repairs and upkeep while we travel to Arkonis.
All right. Are we paying him, or what's his deal?
He's just wanting to go on an adventure, and he wants to book passage. He book passage with us,
Respect that.
and rather than just take payment, he'd offer to help.
Well,
Good. This seems like a fine gentleman when he's not being harangued.
what?
Victor coming.
Oh, it's a long story. Perhaps
Perfect timing.
Good morning, everyone.
perhaps Victor could explain what was attempted on
What?
Morbid.
I'll have
Last
had
night.
a second cup of coffee and I'll just
Morbid?
hand it to you ready to go.
What happened to him?
You tell me.
All right, it was a pretty good plan. We were going to haze him. Make sure that he felt like part of the team, hang him off the edge of the ship with some rope around his legs.
Oh, Fred did throw you off the ship.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
It was pretty cool. Fred tried to kill me. I need to talk to her about that. But
She knew you weren't in any real danger. You
It's
have your
true.
flying thing.
this time it wasn't John Broom. If I had John Broom, I would have died.
I mean, he's no longer a flying broom anymore. Well, he never was, I guess.
He's less likely to kill me as a person.
He comes mopping by. Actually, I'm more of a flying broom now with this airship than I ever was. Sorry, I gotta get back to the.
Your logic is impeccable, as always, John Broomman.
Philosophical. But we might have ruffled his feathers a little too far. Taking it,
Victor, what have you done?
What haven't I done?
Fair point.
It was not intentional. It was in good fun.
He's just not the fun kind of guy.
He's a pretty wet blanket.
I'm sure you heard all the commotion last night. That was part of it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the doors slamming. I heard that a few times.
I think you participated.
I did hear it twice, yeah.
No admission. So the day passes pretty normally. It's kind of just do some maintenance on the ship, practice something, a skill, or you're fighting, that sort of thing, whatever you want to do. Maybe try your hand at astral fishing if you feel so inclined. You're not really sure how it works, but you have a fishing pole and you cast it, and sometimes you catch something like a weird, a weird prismatic fish or something like that.
Like kind of like just like shimmers
trout.
into view.
Yep. Yes, rainbow trout. Yep.
It's like the neon cat with a rainbow behind it as it swims.
Why would you ever want
version of space?
How long does Fred maintain her aloofness? Her tantrum?
By about... it is a tantrum, 100%. I've thrown many myself.
Same.
Put a skull and crossbones in the comments if you too have thrown a tantrum at one point.
Yep.
Let us know. I would say around dinner time.
Okay.
She's ready to come out. Mostly because she's hungry.
Perfect. So everybody's kind of sitting down in the galley for dinner because we just skipped over lunch. That's fine. The plates are abuzz with all new foods to swim to you. And Morbid sees you walk in, and he stands up and he goes, "I believe I'll take my food into my cabin. If you would excuse me."
Bad.
Please don't eat with us. We're not always psychos.
Not always. Just at night when I'm trying to sleep. Fred?
And Fred is going to act like nothing happened. Oh, hello, Morbid. Good to see you. Good to see me, of course.
Of course.
Yes. Are you eating with us? What are we having? Where's the food?
He just kind of sits back down. The plates are very responsive to getting you your food as soon as you walk in. They are definitely being trained well by you, even in the one day that you've had them.
Dinner is
the Queen of Space.
Lasagna recipe courtesy of Jin.
Oh.
Thank you.
Smells
both.
delightful.
And Victor and Aramis. Good to see you all.
Victor's laying on the table and he's like, "I'm so bored. Where were you?"
Oh, well, I've
too
been in my room.
Too bored to even take inventory like you were asked.
Yep. Yes. Inventorying potatoes is not what it used to be.
I've had to carve a number into each one. 00001, 00002.
No. There's got to be a better way.
I'm sure there is.
I did my katas 12 times.
That's what happens when you fail arithmancy. It's your own fault.
Arithmancy, what's that?
Magic of math.
Mathomancy.
That sounds pretty cool.
It is.
Playing numbers at each
It's
other.
just a giant abacus.
That's your spellcasting focus.
I divide you in half.
Magic missile.
I take your coefficient.
Oh, yeah.
So we joke, but the Quandrix School in Strixhaven
It's
is
true.
absolutely magic math. Yeah, it is all about fractals and
It's true.
Fractals.
True.
Ew. Honestly, that sounds disgusting.
Fractals are everywhere. Fractals are a very
From
important
Jujutsu
part
Kaisen
of
that just
not
divides
only
you in
math, but
Some
living
birds.
things as well.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, I was at the top of my class in primary school and secondary school and through all of my education because, that's me.
Right, of course. And where was your education done?
That's neither here nor there. So anyhow, what are we doing tonight? Anything fun? Bolt, do you have any ideas?
It's actually a place called Here Nor There.
Here nor there.
Here Nor There, yes.
I've never heard of that academy before.
Oh, it's very interesting. You should check it out when you get back.
I will.
Great.
You did this. And really quickly, my apologies. And he actually takes out a notebook and he opens it up and grabs a pen. And he says, "How do you spell this lasagna of yours?"
Oh, lasagna.
I'm like,
Lasagna. Lasagna. Yeah.
That is not how I would think that would be spelled.
That's it.
I used to just call it pasta pie.
ooh, I know, Bolt.
Janjin made it up. I don't know.
Tell him how to spell baloney.
Noodle cake. That's
Oh,
another
yes.
good way to call it.
Yes.
BOLONGA.
Is that part of the lasagna?
No, BOLO.
No,
Scott
there's
is not a great
song.
speller, so.
My baloney has a first name.
Bolognaise.
It's OSCAR. My baloney has a second name. It's MEYER.
Wait, is your baloney like a living person too?
Oh, you are so insufferable. Anyhow,
I'll
Bolt,
get back
you are
to
forgiven.
speaking.
This lasagna is delicious.
Thanks, I think.
It's good. Do I detect a hint of coriander? No. Maybe it's thyme.
Coriander's everywhere in this world.
What is the time for?
Wow.
Good one.
That was...
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't think it was that good, but okay, sure. We're good.
All the jokes get a high five.
Yep.
Coriander is actually your like alter ego, and it's like
Brander.
when you have a punchable
Like Cory?
face. Yeah.
Cory Brander.
Cory Brander. Cory.
Actually,
Or when
I used
we
to-
are in a non-Jedi related Star Wars show.
Coriander.
Yep. I used to tell people that my full name was actually Korahor. Or Coriantimer, whichever one I
Welcome
decided.
to You Don't.
Yeah.
You also used to tell people that you were from Canada.
Yes. I was raised Canadian. Not
so
that
I was
from
raised-
Canada.
I was raised Canadian.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yes.
Raised Canadian.
And
So you just have impeccable manners
Exactly,
and
yeah.
loves syrup.
Poutine.
I just said everyone from Canada is
Mhm.
in a certain way.
Yeah.
Poutine
I
is
mean-
delicious.
If there's somebody in Canada who doesn't like syrup, leave a comment and let us know.
Like a million allergic people probably.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, do they not like it, or they just can't have it?
Yeah, that's true. You know?
Because
I like a lot of things that
Yeah,
I can't eat a lot of like
fair
ice cream
fair
and stuff,
point.
but I like it a lot.
It's true. True.
I'll dish up a piece of lasagna and I'll hand it to Fred and say, I promise it's not salty. There's some salt if you want, but
Thank you.
you push the salt shaker forward, and then it rocks back into position with the pepper. Like, no, don't put me out of formation.
Don't you know you're always supposed to pass the salt and pepper together?
oh,
Bad luck.
And
Roll over.
good manners. Thank you.
You have to throw it over your shoulder. I'll take the salt shaker and throw it on my shoulder.
The whole
Entire
are they more durable than regular?
Oh yeah, they have.
Just
like,
shatters and
one hit
dies.
point.
I think
Way
they
to
have
go.
to be.
Oh, did I just?
You just murdered
You
the
just
salt.
murdered Salt.
Poor little
Paul
salt.
Saltman was a good man.
Paul Saltman
Yeah.
and John
yes,
Broonman,
remember-
the latest buddy cop comedy coming to
Paul-
NBC.
Paul Saltman? What?
Paul Saltman. Yep. After dinner, you adjourn to whatever activities you wish for the evening. We aren't going to play out 3 days of
Yeah, I'll
activities
say.
unless you
How,
have something.
how
to do.
far away are we? We're a couple days out.
Yep, you're a couple days out from Arkonos. You can see it kind of growing in the distance. It's definitely the most prominent landmass.
I
on the
will call
horizon now.
everyone up like when that time comes and be like, if you're interested, we can finally start seeing Arkonis through the spyglasses.
Yeah, I
Well,
would go
I'll
up.
Oh, yeah.
It's
And if Victor comes
I
up,
haven't
I would
used my
try and use it as
You're
an opportunity
rated.
to talk to him.
Okay.
Oh yes.
So if he's not, busy with
Pranking.
Fred or pranking or whatever, if there's a moment, then I'll like kind of squeeze him on.
More bench, you are invited as well.
Oh, thank you very much.
On the deck, is there just a place to like lounge? And you know how kids, when they're sitting on the couch and they're bored, they'll just like hang off the couch upside down. That's Victor right now, like hanging off the side of something.
Off the
As-
side of the
as you
ship.
approach.
You hooked your legs into like one of those net cratings or crate nettings.
Yeah.
Net cratings.
Net
Cargo
cratings,
netting.
yeah.
Cargo netting. Thank you.
I like net crazy
space
better.
Everything, because everything in
Yeah.
space is space something.
Yeah.
Aramis, is that you?
Yes. Hi, Victor.
I could tell by the way you breathe.
I forgot you're really good at that kind of stuff.
Yes.
That sounds very intimate.
Hi, Bolt.
Oh yes, I'm here too.
If you
I
want
guess you
Bolt to
can
be
be
here,
this.
you don't. He doesn't have to be.
It's fine.
No, that's fine.
Stay.
You got something on your mind?
I thought we were all on the deck of the ship because that's where he is.
Yeah, but like the deck of the ship's pretty big.
Okay.
You don't have to be in the same exact spot.
Is that a meme?
You don't. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't have to be within 5 feet of each other. You know.
Don't worry, I can't stealth. You would have heard me coming a mile
No,
away.
it's fine. I don't care if you
Vicar will throw his arms and sit up on the railing or whatever he's hanging off of.
Look,
What's up?
I know there's been some iffiness about Lila. Don't worry about it. There's absolutely nothing.
Bombastic.
She was a kind soul, nothing more. A gentle lover.
Sorry. Not canon.
I'm glad to hear that. I know that you seem to have a lot on your mind the last few days, and I didn't want to press. But
Let's
it
just
was
say-
driving me a little bit crazy, must say.
All that there ever was when I
That
first
explains his.
arrived at Skull Sea. Oh, he's been acting. There were a handful of people who did not want me to be there. But she took me under her wing, and everyone shut up real fast.
I believe it's called Ving.
That's
Prod,
what,
Ving, Ring,
Yeah.
Wing.
that's what I said, Ving. Yeah.
And that is it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the clarity. I don't like to think of myself as a jealous type, but I did contemplate holding you at knife point.
I think we have to be completely honest and open if we want to survive out here.
I too have dated Lyra. I'm
I
sorry.
agree.
No, I'm just kidding.
Pranked. Immediately you say, "No, I'm just kidding." Pranked.
I'm going to have to talk to Fred about the thing she's teaching Paul. But yes, I agree. And while in the
As Fred is looking through a spyglass that you literally
you
quit.
put a black ring around.
I sleight of hand put charcoal around the edge, so when she sticks it up and she looks, she's got a
She's gonna get the But she does have very dusky skin already as a drow, so.
Nope,
Yeah.
not one. Victor laughs. I'm going to have to savor that one. But in the interest of being, open,
You're supposed to just keep it fully extended to get the most out of it.
I
Thanks,
wasn't.
morbid.
I'm not sure I'm ready to settle down, but I felt my mortality pressing on me, and all the deals that I'm making, I feel like I was becoming a burden to those around me.
Well,
I don't know if I did the right thing.
that's common to feel that way when you make big decisions. But you'll never really know if it's right or wrong until you find out, right?
That's true.
The only way is forward.
Well, and I figure the only thing I cannot imagine progressing in life. If she's been my guiding star, kind of the thing that you look on, and I don't know. I feel like I've abandoned them.
Well,
Kind of left my problems at their doorstep.
these feelings tend to happen right before something big. That,
Don't say that. Cory will make us roll initiative.
An aboleth.
The master hand.
makes you think and it helps you prioritize your life, but at the end of the day, you're uniquely suited to whatever lies ahead. And you have to trust that. And when it's all said and done, then you can drop the burden and go do whatever you want to do.
That's good advice.
But for now, we have duty.
I do. Forgive me if this is pressing too closely, but what did it feel like losing the one you loved?
Oh, it spins your life into chaos. You lose everything in a moment, and slowly you lose yourself, and there's no getting it back. You just have to be who you are now, and learn to be okay with it.
That sounds horrible.
It's terrible, but it's the hand you're dealt. What do? Push on. Fight for yourself if there's anything left. Fight that you might look at yourself and smile once in a while in the mirror and say, I like this, but that's a far way off.
Kind of fake it till you make it, right?
I guess. It's got me this far.
I think that helps. No, I have lost a lot of people in my life. They've come and gone, and I think I'm just scared of getting close to people.
Well, fear will kill any dream or want or desire faster than anything else.
That's true.
Well, this was a deep talk, and I'm ready for a drink.
I'll join you. I'll hop down.
If you two are finished, if you want to take a look at Arkonis, our destination,
Please.
Yes.
I will just kind of point off. It's just off a little bit north of that star up there. It's kind of dim, but
It's so small. How will we fit?
it will slowly get bigger.
Oh. I've never been
You
to
need,
space
you need to
before.
go back to primary school, like Victor does. So, pulling out the spyglasses that Bolt provided for each of you.
Yeah, I
you
bought
see-
everyone a spyglass, by the way,
We're
so
going
you
to
have one
teach
on your
kids to read
profile.
if they can't even fit in the building.
Is this a
Continent for ants.
This is a reading center for ants.
So you see large cliffs of the landmass that looms ahead of you. Having gotten a good look of an area as you left, you know that the ground beneath the surface, you've come to know, is far deeper than you might expect. But it has nothing on the sheer volume of earth that makes of the realm before you. It's very clear the surface line is delineated along the edge, but almost immediately gives way to cliffs and highlands that soar far above even the sky peak. In the distance, you see large shapes flying along the edge before darting deeper into the realm.
Whoa. We're going to die there. Probably.
What is your business in Arkonis, actually?
Revenge, I think. Little bit.
You got to summons from your god.
I did.
I'd like to see if I can...
Not just on my account, though, right? I mean, you have reasons, right? I hope so. I feel selfish.
I want to be here for souvenir. I have some friends that really wanted to see dragons. You can bring back a
you
scale
can-
or two.
I have
You
been.
can ping your creator now, right?
I haven't tried actually. I'll have to try later. But I am interested in seeing what became of the rest of Aneria before it shattered. It's more of an intellectual curiosity, I guess.
Do you need to worry about
the
more of your
histories.
siblings?
I don't know.
Just
Well, I think the best path forward will be caution to an extreme degree.
Morbent,
yes.
you are bringing your cargo, your mana crystals,
Yes, that is correct.
for trade.
Mhm.
And now, was there a specific reason? Did you hear from someone that is good currency there? Or?
Well, from what I've gathered from different travelers among the realms, there aren't many at this point, you know. But it seems that when the shattering happened and the gods began to divide up the realms and to save it, Aneria managed to collect most of the magical ley lines and arcane wellsprings that constituted the world. So most of the magic in Arkonis and the other realms is muted at best and non-existent at worst.
Well, that doesn't bode well for us, right?
Sounds pretty primitive. Are we going to be like gods when we get there?
As much as a god, as you can be a god to a dragon, I suppose.
So there are dragons here. She puts her spyglass down.
You've got a little something.
Say something and I look at you.
Yes, there are dragons in Aneria.
Perfect, because I'm looking to
Arkonis.
build up my army.
And you want to convince a dragon to join your army?
Well, obviously.
That's pretty spot on.
I think if I went back with the dragon, I could most
I
definitely
think we
kill
should-
my father.
I think we should circle back to that.
I could see that.
We should get a dragon, don't you think? Victor,
Yes.
why are you laughing at this idea?
I believe that
Brilliant.
that course of action is the bullseye, as it were.
Yes. I don't understand.
Nat 20. Okay, he.
You're able to hold it in.
Clamps down on it.
What do you know of dragons?
No more than the legends that everybody else knows.
I don't know any legends, so tell me one.
Well, they breathe various breath weapons. Their scales are hard as plate armor or harder. Their wings can beat and blow whole armies away, that sort of thing.
Their hearts can power
Excellent.
ships.
Perfect.
What? I've never heard that before.
Oh, you didn't hear it from me.
So you don't know all the legends. Interesting.
Is there one that you know over these?
Perhaps you have seen.
Sorry, it just sounded like maybe
Oh,
you
no, I
had
was
some
just
story.
saying. One of the legends, of course, is that its heart can power a ship.
Yes.
Um,
Until you've seen it with your own eye.
why are you acting so bizarre?
No reason.
Well, are they very friendly?
It depends on the type. I would say that most of the ones that are listed as in the old books as chromatic dragons, that have your very basic colored scales, black, red, blue, green, white. Those are typically
Yes,
of
you're
the
just saying colors
yes.
now.
Those are typically of the evil sort.
Ooh, evil. I like
That
that.
seems pretty typecast, you know?
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Casting a
I'm sure
very
there's plenty
wide
of
net,
bias
you know?
in there. And
Okay.
not everybody fits into that mold, as it were.
Okay.
I myself know a blue dragonborn, and he's
Really?
a wonderful soul. Yes.
It's pretty cool. That
Well,
now,
isn't it true that Dragonborn are not necessarily the same as the dragons they take after?
There's some debate. It's either that they are a half dragon or they are just a creation of dragons.
I'm telling you, dragons are floozies. I heard it from an owl once.
From an owl.
Anyway, and then you have your metallic dragons.
So it's Ixper?
Typically, they take on colors of metals like copper, brass, bronze, silver, gold. I've even heard tell of a platinum
Are they
dragon or
Are they
so.
organized in intelligence or?
Well, they have intelligence, but typically dragons keep to themselves. I'm not exactly sure much about Arkonis. I've heard that there's a bit more organization than typical what you would see from dragons.
Yes, well,
Well,
I will find one, and I will convince it to fight in my army, so very good.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, of course.
And to you too.
Yes. Make sure that you put a ring on it. And he's going to turn around and walk away.
Listen, this is where you say pranked.
Pranked!
What are you pranking me about? Dragons aren't real.
No. Look at your face. And he'll like hold out one of his daggers. He's reflective.
I like it.
That is not the reaction we were going for.
50-50
Precisely.
It's like when your parents say, "Don't egg them on." Like just don't react.
Yeah.
And they'll stop doing it. No, I'll just try harder.
every morning, Fred's gonna wake up and like,
Reapply. Yeah.
It's her war paint now.
Okay, so after a couple more days, Arkonis gets closer and closer until finally the cold of the Astral Sea fades and is replaced by the warmth of the material plane once again.
Everything is covered in
furs.
condensation.
Yep. It's still a bit chilly because you are technically high elevated. Yeah, you're like, not nearly as much.
idea.
Yeah.
Is it humid chili or is it
Dry.
I would say
It's
typical,
Hormel
like,
chili.
Hormel?
Lame.
I like it.
whatever kind of chilliness you would find when you're like mountain climbing. That's where it's
Okay. It's like the mountain chills. Got it.
The mountain.
And
chill.
a high arid, arid.
Sierra Nevadas.
Okay, got it.
So there is a map of Arkonis. In case anybody doesn't have it, I've put a link in the chat. It should be up on the screen for the wonderful people at home, and you can go check it out in the link in the description, because there's a lot of great lore in there that the party might not get to.
No.
We could have a whole campaign in Arkonis at this point, because I've written so much about it.
None of us are surprised by that.
Nope.
So, where are we coming in at?
You are coming in on the south of Arkonis. In fact, you are coming in. You see ahead of you a giant stone dam
Wait.
holding back a lake of water that would otherwise fall into the void itself. So that southernmost
Oh,
sea.
you can zoom like super close.
dragony thingies.
Utter Zurek.
Those are markers of like the area and the people
You know,
or
old
the
maps.
faction
They
in
have
that
like the
area.
sea monsters and stuff.
Carthus.
And I hope it means there's a dragon there. I'm not kidding you. Fred is going to find a dragon.
It's a dragon's lair.
I mean, I've
there-
heard tales about bards that really try to woo them. You got the riz, I think. You could probably pull a dragon.
Well, I don't know if I have any room for a level in bard. I'm already 1 level warlock, 10 levels fighter, 3 levels sorcerer, and quite frankly,
Your stat sheet's just like.
But it's only showing to her and nobody else.
So like, what the hell are you talking about?
quite frankly, I don't think I could. It's probably doable.
She has the appraisal skill.
Oh, but perhaps I could find a bard. Like the bard. William Shakespeare, if you will.
That's true. I always thought he was more of like a spearman.
I'm not gonna volunteer, but I am a bard.
Oh!
Oh, hold on. I forgot.
Yeah, you got a loot, right?
I forgot! I feel so dumb.
Well, he likes me.
Oh yes, well, Aramis, we'll see. I mean, I don't want to pressure you into anything. Really, it would be your honor to assist me. I would let you name the dragon if it doesn't have a name already. Oh, maybe I can find an egg.
I want to name it Chonchi. That
Chonchi.
sounds like a really good
Well, you
name.
don't get to name it unless you help.
Okay. I help.
First name goes to Aramis. Second name goes to Victor if you help.
Alright.
Chonchi Snuggleverse.
So you've basically got one city that you can see ahead of you, right next to this gigantic dam. It is a city with clay-tiled roofs that no building seems to be over like 2 stories tall. Everything seems to be about like 1 story, pretty uniform. And a lengthy dock that sits on the southern shore of this lake with a large domed building at
Is
its
this
center.
a man-made dam?
Yes, it is a gigantic like stone wall dam. So
there are other races besides, or ancestries besides dragons. Good to know.
There's kobolds.
Or perhaps dragons built the dam. I'm just
Perhaps.
saying.
Well, then we might die immediately.
Well, this
Maybe there's a water dragon. It's,
Well, I can't
it's hoarding
die.
the water. That's its lair.
Oh.
I know nothing.
I know.
that's not a bad idea. Write it down.
A resource dragon.
Yeah, it's like in the desert and it just hoards water.
It's the Oasis. Yeah.
Ooh.
The camel
It's the
dragon.
Oasis boss.
Well,
Shoots
we
steam out
do
its
know
mouth.
that Arkonis was a part of an area before it was shattered, so presumably there should be other sentient races.
Was the Arcanum formed after the shattering?
So technically, the Arcanum, as Fred knows it, was formed after the Shattering.
Okay.
There was an organization called the Arcanum before it, but it was kind of a conservatory of mages rather than a policing force.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And as you guys are talking, you're kind of bringing the ship in, and you see several figures rising up from the city itself to meet you. They are large winged creatures, various colors, and at first you think, oh hey, first dragons, but they're a little different than you're expecting dragons to look like. They've only got 2 legs, their upper arms are attached to their wings, and each of them has a rider with like a large lance on them.
You know, I've heard that Morbid was talking about dragons and how there's this really offensive thing that if you call a wyvern a dragon or some other things, that depends on how many appendages they have, you see. And I'll just go on this really long like explanation of how he sees it, but it's like completely wrong.
As they basically approach, and you can see once they're basically on the level, these wyverns, because that's what they are, of various colors begin circling. The riders are kind of just like glancing over at you, and when one of them catches eye contact with somebody, they just go, "May I come aboard?"
Yes, please.
Signal, because I don't know if they can hear me.
Excellent. Land right there on the deck in the center. Can they hear us? I'm assuming.
Yes. So we'll say it's we'll just say this one is like a green wyvern, lands on the center of the deck, kind of lands down and kind of hisses a little bit as it eyes each of you. Its scorpion-like tail kind of coming around and dripping a little bit of venom. But
John, just wait for a minute.
He's right underneath where the venom, like ready to. Yep. And then the man dismounts, kind of brushes himself off. He's got one of those like night helmets that have the little like lift up on it, and he does lift it up. And actually, he is not human. He is a dragonborn, and he is a. Let's say he is.
Dragons.
Seems very meta.
It seems promising.
We'll say that he is a copper dragonborn. And he goes, who is the captain of this ship?
Well, I, of
I
course,
guess-
am the leader of the group, but
Aramis raised his hand.
I was pointing to you.
Okay.
But,
It looked like you were raising your hand like me.
To me, obviously.
Bolt, technically, is the captain of this ship.
Right.
I'm the muscle.
I am
This
both.
is the muscle. This is the beauty.
Right. I am Wing Commander Balgrax.
Baldrax?
Balgrax.
Oh,
Balgrax.
Baldrax.
The bold.
The bold. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Wing Commander.
I want to know what your business in Arkonos is. We don't
Baldrax.
get very many travelers. Balgrax.
Victor is like
B as in
straight
boy?
up,
B as in boy.
mouth open.
Baldrax.
Is this the-
Baldrax?
The bold.
The bull.
Would this be the first time that he's set eyes on like a dragonborn?
No, you've met Dragonborn. In fact, you swindled a Dragonborn out of a
That's
lot
right,
of money.
that's right,
or
that's right,
your-
okay.
The party did, yeah.
You know, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to see you. Nice to meet you too. It's very odd for us to see faces that are coming from the Astral Sea. Which realm do you hail from?
We're from the portion that calls itself Aneria.
Oh, the new portion.
I guess it would be new to you.
Yes.
Right.
Once the veil was lifted.
Exactly,
That's what we
yes.
call it. Is that what you guys also?
We knew that there was some sort of preventative shielding around that realm, but nobody was ever able to breach it until recently, of course, last couple of years.
He's the group that is responsible
We were actually there when we brought it down.
for making it happen.
I was not responsible, but I was there that night. So, how many realms are there
Need to be honest.
that you know of?
I mean, that's not really my purview. Dozens or so.
Dozens or so, really.
I don't know. I kind of.
Have you been to any others?
Your wyvern
No.
is peeing on the ship.
My apologies. No, I haven't. In fact,
John!
not very
Take
many
care of
people
it.
have been to other realms, which is why I was surprised to see somebody coming from the south.
Have you had other visitors here from Aneria?
No, nobody from an area, yes.
Well,
but from the other realms.
Every now and then, you'll get a traveler that braves the Astral Sea.
Well, I think we're glad to be the first.
yes.
Good. What is your business in Arkonos, though?
We're just actually.
I'm looking for a dragon.
You'll find no shortage of dragons here. Is there a particular business you wish to have with one?
Yes, of course, I'm building an army to murder my father.
Right.
That's
Well,
not our main objective.
We're actually explorers.
That is a side
Explorers.
quest, if you will.
right. Explorers. So you're just here exploring Arkonos, then?
We're coming to see what it has to offer and possibly trade. And
We bring goods
You
on
have
our ship.
gold, gems, jewels, that sort of thing?
Mana.
Excellent. Mana?
yeah.
I know a guy. I can introduce you.
Interesting.
Fred, do you have that mana crystal?
This is very special to me.
Right. And he's going to take his lance and, put it into a holster on the wyvern so that he can have both hands for this. May I?
Yes.
He picks it
Victor,
up.
keep an eye on this one. Knives!
Wow.
Army!
And he's going to take it and he's just going to, almost pinch the edge of it and pull out just, the tiniest bit of what appears to be, arcane energy. And he looks at it and goes, that is very pure. That's incredible.
Pure sheep.
Well, you'll find no shortage of buyers here. Arkonos is known for having very little magic, as most of the realms are.
Well, in the sake of honesty, where we come from, actually, magic is quite prevalent.
Is it now? Must be nice.
You can consider us your
Say that.
emissaries to awesomeness.
To an area.
Great. Well, unfortunately, I'm just a wing commander. I just want to check to make sure you guys aren't here with ill will, that sort of thing.
It's okay. You can spread the word and let them know that the Wayward Watch, we watch out for those who need, and we have the goods should you need them, under the table, whatever.
Right.
Above. You meant about.
Let me ask you this. Is there an orphanage someplace or an adoption agency?
I mean, there's an orphanage in the city, sure.
Very good. What's it called?
It's called Madame Millow's Orphanage.
Madame Malot's Orphanage. Yes,
You're gonna find some of the littlest hopes.
I'm just... No, they are not available for adoption.
Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all I ask. Obviously, welcome to the territories of Aldros, part of the Alloy Alliance. We are happy to receive you, so long as you maintain good civil standing within the realm.
Oh, that was very well put.
Thank you.
I'm as civil as they come.
Is there a place where we could moor our ship?
If it can land in the water, the docks are a fine place for it. I think it's about 10 scale a night for docking fees.
10 scale. What's
Scale. Sorry, and he actually is going to take out some tin plates, and they look almost like scales, and they're stamped with a symbol on them, and that looks like a dam. And he hands one to you, and he says, because gold and silver is so valuable in Arkonis, most of our currency is printed in scale and kind of converted from precious materials. So if you will probably want to go to the local
We
mint in
are
order to get an
definitely
exchange.
adopted.
okay? We can exchange
Baby
for
dragons.
this.
Yes, especially if you have gold. The more gold, the better. That's, just give you a rundown here how Arkonis works. The magic that we do have comes from the dragons. They steep it in their hoards, and it filters out into the city, where we fill up various magic items, and he kind of gestures to his armor, and you can see that it has these glowing runes etched into it. Just like now that Bolt is looking, it's exactly runic magic that you would expect from giants, actually, not from
wireless charging in here.
yeah. And he kind of says, obviously, mana crystals work amazing if you can find them, but other than that, basically all of the precious materials.
Can they
go
also
to
be
dragons.
exchanged at this? What did you call it again? Sorry.
At the mint.
At the mint.
Yeah, you can exchange your mana crystals there if you want. You're probably going to get better luck and a better rate for them if you go to, the individual merchants. Of course, that's all going to be in scale.
Okay.
So it'll be good on Arkonis.
Can scale also? When the time comes, we leave Arkonis. Can we trade back for gold or silver?
I'm not exactly sure. We don't get too many merchants visiting here, so you would want to probably talk to them in first about that.
Good to know.
But yeah,
If there's anything else,
No,
otherwise we'll just go ahead and.
yes, feel free to dock. And he kind of waves his hand, and the other wyverns break away. And you go,
Get him!
free wyvern!
Are we gonna break an economy?
Everyone seems so nice so far.
So far, yeah, he's pretty
All
cool.
of every one person that we spoke with. Yes.
The wyvern looks nice.
No,
John
he made holes in the ship.
But yes, they don't seem hostile. I agree with you, Aramis.
It's true. We haven't had too many good run-ins with local guards in the past, and so this one was actually quite pleasant.
Well done. Well done.
All right, no incidents this time. A new record.
We changed
day
the
without
thing to one.
Maybe
One day without
the
incident.
last time we met the Dragonborn, we ruined his life forever. And his daughters.
So, side note, I saw a funny post on Facebook. This is, I have a sign at my desk that says days since being annoyed, and it was set at 2. And my boss came up to me and he goes, "Are you okay?" Yeah, why? Well, because I noticed your sign here, and I look him in the eye and I reach over and I change it to 0.
That's amazing.
All right, so as you head down, I'm going to explain a little bit about how Arkonis and your time here is going to work. First of all, as far as scale goes, I am not going to require you to convert gold to scale every time you need to buy something. Basically, I'll tell you the equivalent in gold, and you will have the scale on hand. And then when you leave, you can take as much scale as you want with you, or just have your gold left. Not going to worry too much about that. Because
it's like filling up your ammo, right?
Yeah,
We'll just say
don't need
like,
that crunchy back.
we'll say like, yeah, we go to the mint and exchange what we need to,
It's not why I play D&D.
yeah,
I get 3 ball bearings.
It's like keep
That's why you play
Besides
games like Sim,
spreadsheet,
right?
yeah. Minecraft. Inventory.
yeah, because I deliberately made it so that it is very volatile, and I'm not going to make you try and convert that, mostly because I don't want to make the charts for it either. That's ridiculous. The other thing to note about Arkonis is that we've enabled hardcore rules, as it were. So you cannot regain spell slots or performance points from a long rest unless you are inside of a city.
Okay.
Basically, there is no... You can feel that there is no magic here. So when you're-
Gnome magic? We have a gnome
magic.
with us.
Yeah. Unless you are inside of a city, like getting the ambient magic from them or the fonts thereof. However, mana crystals, if you could find them, or if you have some on you, can help you. Basically, you can use a single mana crystal to allow you to get the full benefits of long rest. We'll just say that is how it works. Rather than it being you can regain a number of spell slots. You need to go outside.
Hardcore.
Yep. So that isn't going to be forever. Obviously, like you guys can go back to town whenever you want, but it does represent the fact that Aneria has a lot of magic and Arkonis has very little.
Okay.
You land down at the docks. The ship kind of splashing into the water. You can see other ships they have these giant nets filled with truly gigantic fish with kind of these big, like, flat heads that they almost look like they're hammerheads, but like not hammerhead, like the creatures
Like the
that
sucker
smash their heads together.
Sunfish?
The dinosaurs that smash their heads together.
Pachyosaurus?
Yeah, I think the maybe.
Pachyrhinosaurus? No.
Basically, the ones that have like
The little
dome,
crown.
the chrome domes. That
What are they called?
Yeah.
A Pachyosaurus. That's like
All right, one of your kids has to know.
a pachyderm.
Yeah.
Or is one of them into dinosaurs?
They are,
I think there's
they're like the basics, like Stegosaurus, Ankylosaurus, like,
Yeah.
Apatosaurus,
Yeah,
like
so
the
it's-
common ones. But
Pachycephalosaurus. I call it Pachysaurus, but it's Pachycephalosaurus is the one with the...
Dinosaur nerd.
Oh, yeah.
Pachycephalosaurus.
Yep.
Just
Yeah,
be
so
careful.
my packies.
Chrome dome your head.
I was thinking it was the fish with the flat ones that the like feeder fish that like suck onto
Like
the bottom of
Remoras,
like
yeah.
the
Barf.
oh,
Barf in a
Placosmus.
bucket.
yeah.
Yes.
I love those. I think they're cool. But no, these ones
Placosmi?
are big, like chrome dome heads, packy heads.
Nice. Does that
And
mean there's
isn't it, like,
pterodactyls
trapped in the nets?
flying?
I would say on average they are about this big.
Okay, and they're like trapped in the
And
nets.
they,
like
they're
fishing
basically
them?
they're basically like dead fish that have been hauled up from these nets and everything. And these boats are like pulling them aboard and gutting them, that kind of thing. Your typical fisherman stuff.
Cool.
So as you pull up and kind of settle into the dock,
drifted in.
Yeah. Another dragonborn comes kind of walking up. She's kind of thinner. She's got a couple scrolls in her hand, a pair of spectacles, and she goes, pardon, you're the airship that came down? The wing commander said that you might be
Yes,
docking here?
the Wayward Wanderer.
Yes. I have you here. And she kind of goes through her scrolls and she hands you one. And she says, that's good for 2 hours at the docks. And then you'll have to go to the harbor master's office and pay the fee.
Okay.
There. That should give you enough time to go to the mint, though. And I can direct you there if you want.
That would be lovely, thank you.
Excellent. And she just gives you like quick directions on where the mint is.
Okay.
Concierge at the dock.
I will go and get some scale. I think that's what they call it. Does anyone want to join?
Kale. I hate this.
Scale. Those tin
the
things.
money.
Yeah.
Yes.
How about this? I'll give you a little bit of money, and I just want to wander around a bit. Maybe just look for a certain orphanage.
Don't burn it down.
No kidnappings?
I would well, I won't.
Thank you. But yes, we'll get some exchange. If anyone else doesn't want to go,
I could get
I'm
some.
going to the mint.
I could probably exchange something, but you know, if you burn down an orphanage, every time I'm not there, you guys burn something
You
down.
can't. I have fireball now. I haven't.
All right, so
I'm
if you're
keeping
there,
it
you don't
under
have
lock
fireball,
and
do
key.
you? All
I
right.
just have
We've
these
banished
lovely
the other
things.
fire user.
Yeah, and they definitely are like, now that you're in another realm,
do they all
very
have
much
black
like-
rings that you painted around each one of their eyes now?
Absolutely.
And they are just glancing.
Where? How many are
But
there?
now-
How many stocks are there?
I think there
10?
are 8.
Now is Fred doing the I'm gonna call it the Freya, but the Nordic.
Oh yeah, the
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Super
That,
cool.
like I make up.
with one circle,
Yeah.
a circle,
just like-
and the rest looks cool. Yeah, I'm leaning into this.
I mean, it
Tropes.
looks a little emo. It might be a face,
Thank you.
but the emo's not dead yet, so.
No, it's never dead.
Just gotta play that one note. The
10.
G, right?
10.
10.
Yes. 10 of them. 10's eye stalks, yes. Okay, so you're heading out to the orphanage.
That's where they have baby ornithopters, Cory.
Yes.
The
And they're
orphanage.
adorable.
rich.
That's where the orphans make ornithopters. It's a sweatshop.
Sad. No.
Man, the economy here is messed up.
They held a picket or whatever, but they just asked for more playtime.
So the rest of you are going to the mint, right?
Yeah, and I will just handbolt a little
Yeah.
bag of coins.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
So we'll start with the mint since it is closer. The three of you walk
Yeah.
up. Basically,
How far away is it from the docks?
It's probably a couple miles.
Okay.
It seems like it likes
Is
to
there
be
anything
pretty
interesting
close.
along the way?
Give me a perception check. Let's see if you can find
Yeah,
anything.
we want to scout out the town. Cause
John.
not like we can buy anything yet, but you know, on the way back
John.
Yeah.
from the mint.
Yeah.
You're in charge. Make sure no one takes the ship. Especially the little dwarf.
You
or
got it.
Gnome.
You got it.
I only rolled a 3. I'm just like, everything's so cool. So new.
19.
Everything's so cool.
19.
It's like when you go
see
to New
this?
York
Yeah.
for the in Times Square. You're like,
Yeah, or like when people go, they take pictures of like vending machines. And, like,
Yes.
those are stupid.
Yeah.
so dumb.
Like, wow, look, they have trash cans here too.
So there are actually a few notable things along the streets. First of all, as far as population goes, you do see a fair number of dragonborns and a bunch of kobolds.
Okay.
Typically, like you see maybe like 1 or 2 in a city, in an area.
So
but here
kobolds
they
are small.
Mhm.
Dragonborns are typically just
Human, yeah, human size, maybe like a foot taller than
so
your average
we're
human.
like me and Bolt are taller than them, but not like towering.
As far as the Dragonborn goes, yeah, you're probably both taller than them, specifically because you have a few extra inches from
like 7
a chaos pool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I imagine all kobolds are really derpy looking and all dragonborns are like sexy.
How dare you? My kobolds are very sexy.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you very much.
That's just how I see them in my mind.
There's Squidward,
got-
a handsome Squidward.
got one-
Oh no, he's
One of them's like
hot.
got Fabio hair, and he's like,
Yes.
They all
they're
just
like-
have like mohawks because they have scales everywhere. So
Yeah.
it's just like
Torrey would be like, I am in heaven. But Fred does not care.
I am on a
"Spot the
mission.
dragon."
Yes.
But there are other races as well,
maybe
or other ancestry species, whatever you want to call them. There's plenty of humans, elves, half elves, that sort of thing that kind of just are scattered about, but they don't appear. I mean, it doesn't
But
really.
the
appear
majority
like,
are like dragonkins.
yeah,
Okay.
but it doesn't appear like there's any sort of like hierarchy or anything either. Like it seems like it's pretty well meshed, just like Aneria is.
Cool.
We get a lot of looks.
Melting pot.
You get a few looks, but
Have they ever seen Warforged before?
yeah, mostly it's like directed at you just because you're a construct, technically to them.
Excuse me, are there any... can you tell me if there are any historical buttresses nearby?
No, sorry, the city doesn't really have any. I mean, except for the seat of the dragon.
What are we even doing? The what?
The seat of the dragon, the big like domed building. You can't miss it. It's literally in the skyline pretty much all the time.
You guys go to the mint. I'll be back.
Buttress.
Buttress on the brain.
Yeah, and one other thing you see is that there's a lot of like small little
Butt
underground
brain.
passages too. Like an alley will sometimes just like drop down below into kind of an underground area. You can pretty much see that like any building that has a lower street level has basements to it. It seems like these people like to build down. And you do actually see a couple tamed giant spiders wandering around as mounts or as like pulling carriages and things like that.
I haven't seen a spider that large since Hollow Bend.
And I think the most important thing that you see is spaced pretty evenly about in like the market squares are lines of people or kind of like groups of people gathering around these large like copper pillars that have a bunch of glowing runes etched in them. And like somebody will walk up and they will take a weapon or a tool or something and place it against the pillar, and it will transfer some of the energy in those runes that fade on the pillar and then light up on the tool itself, and then they'll walk away. And you actually pass by one that seems pretty low, and there is a trio of robed, kind of red-robed mages that come over, and they'll place a couple like mana crystals next to it, and it kind of charges it up, and then they'll take the depleted crystals away.
Do they have any tattoos?
No, they're not Thayans, if that's what you're wondering.
Open.
Have you seen it yet? The DVD movie?
I have it.
Oh,
My
good.
my brother-in-law uploaded it to our like little shared streaming thing, and so I want to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, we just got on my Plex server.
Yeah.
So
So
it's super cool.
one day, I don't know.
it's like the
Skull
money
and
meets
Crossbones in the
Pirates
chat
of
if you think
Caribbean.
she should watch it.
I'm sorry, I'm so lame. I have a lot going on.
That's all right.
It's okay.
So, and then you arrive at the Mint, which is a rather large building. It's one of the only two-story buildings that are built upward. It has a
That guy lied. There are buttresses right there. On top of this thing.
there.
I'm gonna have to go back and educate
The
him.
symbol has a set of scales that have like your typical balancing scales, but they do
But
have
they're
like
dragon scales.
yeah they are dragon scales with scales. That's better than what I
What
was gonna
does
say.
the
It was
mint
just scales on the scales.
What
Yeah.
does the mint smell like?
Dragon scales.
Dragon
Coriander.
Tin.
Coriander.
Tin?
Yeah, tin, a little bit of like oily
Yeah.
grease.
Ew.
I thought that would smell like mint.
Smells like a go-kart
First
shop.
Dragon Tales reference. I'll give it that. Sure.
Yeah,
I
so
wish.
we'll go in and you know, if there's a line or whatever, or go up to a teller window and
There's actually several like booths and everything available. So you go and you stand in line for a moment, and soon enough you're face to face with a human man, and he's like, "Welcome to the House of the Balanced Scales. I'm Rory. How can I help you?"
hi Rory, my name is Bolt, and would like to exchange.
Is that short for Rory-ander?
Rory-ander?
Yes, it is.
They're all Ander now. Ander.
You're here to exchange.
Yes.
Okay.
We're new. We're new to the area. We're from. We say Aneria, but that might be kind of confusing. The new realm that just popped up.
No, Aneria. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we don't call Arkonis Aneria.
Okay, fair enough.
Because that was
So-
confusing.
So you're from
Would.
the outer realms.
Yes.
Aneria.
And you have gold from those realms to transfer in.
Aneria.
Great.
Gold, silver,
Starting.
copper.
Yes. And he
Exactly.
pulls out like a stack of papers and he slides them over with an inkwell and he says, "You'll have to fill out these forms declaring where you transferred from, or where you transferred or where you got the money from, blah blah blah, that sort of thing."
Pardon
And
me.
then-
Can
yes.
I have a copy of that contract, please?
Of course, and he'll pull out another one and slide it over to you.
I'll just put it in this.
Yep. So I'll fill it out.
Junior boilerplate.
There's a lot. Like, this is definitely a
Oh,
bureaucracy.
I'm absolutely like.
Yeah, both this is for sure. What about Victor and Aramis? How are you guys feeling after after 10 minutes of bolt filling out forms?
And I'm just like.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, there's a backside.
I'll go up to the counter and be
Clever
like,
wordplay.
"Listen, I'm not that great at writing things, so you could write this for me, yes? One gold.
No, unfortunately.
One gold piece says you will do it.
Oh, we cannot take bribes, especially
Two gold pieces.
No, we
says-
cannot take any bribes, sir.
One electrum piece.
I will have to call the guards if you.
Okay, I'm taking it
insist.
back.
You need to find your own personal notary.
So
Yeah.
after
So,
I'll finish up.
Anything else? Like, you guys are just gonna wait? Okay.
Yeah.
So while you're doing that, we're gonna skip on over to Fred, who's probably skipping down the road here. You've seen a couple giant spiders at this point too.
Ooh,
kind of-
spideys. Ooh, actually. Excuse me.
or if you're a maid.
Spider.
Atticus.
And the spider doesn't stop, but the guy holding the reins of the spider stops and he goes, Are you talking to my spider?
Yes. Where do I get one of those?
Well, I mean, you can buy them from the farms down below.
Are they vicious?
Not really. They're
Never mind.
oh, okay. They were good at producing silk.
That's nice. What else do they have down below? And how do I get there?
And he kind of points to one of the like alleyways that kind of goes down. There's some tunnels that lead under there. Mostly you've got the kobold warrens down there, the spider farms, that sort of thing. There's a couple mines that and quarries that are down there that feed into the local dragon, that sort of thing.
Local dragon?
Yeah. Are you new here?
Obviously.
Right, sure. Where are you from? Are you from...
How about you guess? That will be fun.
Let's see. Well, it's a little far for you to be from the Shimmering Vale.
Shimmering Bell. Hang on, let me write that down.
He's just waiting for you. Like, you literally are writing it down.
Shimmering Vale? Where else do you think I might be from?
I'm gonna say, if I had to guess, you got that royal air about you.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna say you're from Basmahat.
Basmahat?
Yes.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, weird.
Basmahat. Have I ever heard of it?
No, you have not.
Okay. Have I
Yeah.
heard of Shimmering Bell? I
Nope.
haven't heard of any
No,
of these, right?
yeah, you haven't heard of any of these places for sure.
Royalty, he said.
I mean, you just have kind of that air about you. Everybody from Basmahat is kind of a little bit
Is it
full
because of my
themselves.
crown?
Oh, I did not notice that before.
I'm changing my answer.
Really?
You're from really far down below.
Actually, would you roll me an intimidation check, please?
Oh no.
Unintentionally.
Anyone from Basmahat knows the song.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Look, I'm gonna. I gotta. And he slaps the spider on the butt, and it starts. It starts abdomen, I guess, and it starts getting it away. And he's like, "Have a
No,
good
they
day."
have tiny little butts.
Yeah, they.
Instead of spinnerets.
Tiny
Tiny little butts.
No.
That's Miss Cheeks to you.
His cheeks, if you nasty.
Yeah, but he kind of just like scurries away.
It's his problem.
But after a little bit, you arrive at Meta Mallows, And it is kind of just your standard orphanage. It's
Standard orphanage.
your standard orphanage.
As it were.
Like in
Is
the
it
movies,
in a marsh?
drab, sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it in a marsh?
No, not in a marsh.
There's always one
Marshmallows.
person with,
Not
with an empty
marshmallows.
bowl. Please, sir, could I have some more?
It's a single level, but it's kind of
Food,
wider than most.
glorious food.
So it looks
I'm
like it might-
imagining dancing, singing orphans.
Yeah.
Okay, that's from Oliver.
Yeah.
Oliver.
Yeah, that one.
That's your standard orphanage, right?
In my mind.
It almost looks like it could double as a school as well. And in fact, as you like peek in, you do see one room that has the door slightly ajar, and there's kids in there that are learning of various species.
Being taught by Miss Honey.
And then you hear
Aw.
a woman go, "Excuse me, hi," and you turn around and there's this older matronly looking dragonborn. She kind of has her golden scales have kind of lost a lot of their luster. She looks a little just aged. And she says, "Can I assist
She's-
you today?"
Martha Stewart.
Yes,
Sports Illustrated.
she's Martha Stewart.
Why are you wearing a bathing suit at an orphanage?
It's a tasteful one piece. It's okay.
It's very nice.
Did I say
Everything
mallow
looks
or did I say
white.
millow?
You said mallow.
Mallow. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Just wanted to
Everything
make sure.
looks
From the
very
from the
purposeful.
marshes.
Marshmallow.
That's what. Yeah. Okay.
Good impression. Good day.
Yes. Good day. How can I help you?
My name is Fred Bloodbane. Nice to meet you, and you are? of
Nice to meet you.
course?
I am Madam Millow.
You are
Yes.
the proprietor of this wonderful orphanage.
Absolutely. I'm glad that you think it is wonderful. Are you here to make a donation?
Oh, well, perhaps I was thinking more of along the lines of an adoption.
Oh,
I thought you were going to say withdrawal. Withdrawal, like it's a bank.
Well, let me tell you specifically what I'm looking for. Not to be picky or anything, but I'm looking for a baby dragon or a baby dragon egg.
That's a good one. No, there's no dragon orphans here. There are no dragon orphans. That would be handled by the dragons themselves. That's.
Well, that
Are you not from
thwarts
around
my
here?
plans. No, I'm not. Some people think, of course, that I am from Basmahat, though, given my royal air.
Right. I'm going to say that you're an out-of-realmer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, welcome to Arkonis. Unfortunately, as far as it goes, we just have regular humanoid children here.
Damn it. Well, in that case, could you direct me to an institution or place where I might acquire what I'm looking for?
Acquire a dragon.
Yes, of course.
I would. The seat of the dragon houses the only dragon in Algros.
Oh, what is its name?
Ooh, let me remember his name. Nyrod the Glimmering is the current seated dragon. Nyrod.
Rod.
Mm-hmm.
The Glimmering.
Yes.
And what type of dragon are they?
He is a bronze.
Bronze.
Yes.
Oh. So kind of and wait, I can't remember. What did Morbid say? Mean. Nice. Is it a good dragon or a bad dragon?
I mean, good and bad dragons are subjective based on where you live, but he is a fair dragon to us.
Fair dragon, very
Yes.
well. Well, I shall go meet him then.
A word of caution, since you are new here. I'm assuming that you've never met a dragon before.
Well, no. I want one.
They are not beasts to be traded. They are not wyverns, they are not horses. They are intelligent creatures, and they are the only reason why Arkonos is not a wasteland. So I would treat them with the utmost respect.
Of course, royalty to royalty. I will do. Yes, absolutely.
Of course. Well, good luck to you
Thank
in
you.
getting an audience. That's, yes, good luck to you.
Thank you very much. And good luck to you and all of you poor unfortunate souls.
That's sad.
Indeed. What did she say? But
Indeed,
true.
yeah, either way.
This one wanting to be thinner, that one wants to get the girl. And do I help them?
Yes, I do.
No, you don't, because you just leave the orphanage. without leaving donations.
This poor unfortunate soul.
And she just kind of the madam just kind of closes the door, shaking her head. That poor girl's in for quite a shock. Back to the mint.
No, that's the blue dragons.
Yeah. Back to the mint. You do finish up the last of the paperwork.
And done.
Excellent. And he takes the forms and he looks through them. And he
Poor
goes,
Aramis.
everything
Let's
looks
sleep.
in order here. Now, it says here that you've got the specific amount that you wish to convert to scale, and he pulls out a scale and he sets it down. And he goes, please set yours in...
Then I pull out the pig and...
Yeah. So he will give you an appropriate amount of scale in exchange after cleaning it up.
We're in a horror world.
Yes.
We are.
Pigs.
Pigs everywhere.
And like the more money that you put onto the scale, the wider his eyes get, because these people probably don't see. I mean, even for somebody working in the balance scales, he probably doesn't see this much precious metal.
Yeah, like all in all, maybe like a couple thousand gold worth of exchange from everyone.
Yep. Yeah, and he'll basically pile up big, like, you know, as far as scale goes. I just need to double check here.
That's like the pocket change we picked up at the last place, so.
Essentially.
And Victor
That was from...
Victor will be kind of nonchalant, not like trying to be showy offy, but like seeing the guy's surprise, he's just
Like in
kind
the
of like,
movie,
well, duh,
like in the movie Get Hard,
It's
it's
really
like,
not that much.
I only have $8,000 on me. Take it, or whatever. That's all I have on me.
That's all I have.
So it's stacks of rectangular plates, basically like tin and whatnot, and they each have like a monetary symbol on it. It's basically like metal money, right?
Yeah.
And he'll kind of like slide it on over to you in stacks and everything until
I
you
want to
guys.
see if the pig will eat it. Does it know?
And I'm talking like this big, like not like not like
I'll take one and see if the pig will.
It does not touch it.
Okay.
That's unfortunate.
Here, I'll divvy it out, and then I'll hold on to yours. Yeah, and this is valuable to.
Yes, any
Arkonis?
shop.
Is that what you?
Yeah, any shop that on Arkonis should accept that as legal tender. Your experience may vary in other kingdoms, depending on their individual how they do the conversion there, because this is specifically Aldrosian scale.
And that's what that symbol means.
Yes, that is the symbol of Aldros.
Victor licks his. What does it taste like?
Tin.
And he bites it and bends it.
Yep.
We could probably make some. Print our own money.
He doesn't even react. I'm not like he doesn't like, as far as it goes. You've kind of pestered him enough that he's kind of just like, I'm just gonna ignore this guy right now.
Maybe we could melt down the silverware at the back of the place. We could start our own mint. Yes.
Well, let's head back and see if we can find Fred.
Okay. So you head back to the ship.
Yeah, I'll hurry back to the docks to the harbor master's office, and I will pay the fees for here's a week's worth of
Perfect
docking fees.
Yeah, we'll say as far as it goes, 10 gold for the week. And for those of you following along at home, I'm not going to have any sort of a back and forth for how
like
much
you heard
so.
before. We're just
Yeah,
gonna leave that
yep.
part in when we talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. But I know there might be some enterprising person that's like, okay, so that was, he said it was 10 scale for a day and 10 gold, so is this 10 scale equal to 1 gold? You know, I'm not even going
He's
to
going to make it up as it goes along.
Yep, pretty much. But I think, Fred, where do you go? Are you going directly to the seat of the dragon, or are you going back to the ship? Okay. So you guys do not find Fred as you get back to the ship.
Well,
John!
dead. Or do we?
Hey, yeah.
Is the gnome still here?
He actually left to go do some, trading or whatever it is.
Alright, has Fred come back yet?
Hadn't seen her.
Have you seen any fires or large pillars of smoke?
No, not yet.
Alright. Then I think we're okay.
Okay.
Do any of you know exactly where she went?
I think she was going to go steal an orphan.
Well, let's See if
I
we
think
can
they
find the
said-
orphanage.
It was Mellows Orphanage.
Okay.
Mellows.
Marshmallow.
Mallows.
I'm gonna find the nearest if there's any like town guards walking around or
Yeah,
anything like
A
that.
couple town guards. They basically have the same kind of armor and tabard that, with the Aldros symbol on it.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
We're looking for Mellows Orphanage.
Mallows?
Mallows.
Maldovius.
Mallows.
Yeah, here, I'll give you directions and it kind of
Maldives.
just guides you down.
Olives.
Thank you.
Olives.
Of course.
Olive branch.
It's like game of telephone where it just morphs further and further.
So as you guys head over to Mallow's Orphanage, Fred, you are marching up towards the seat of the dragon. And you are just about there, and these two large dragonborn in like half plate, wielding very large greatswords, will step in your path and say, "Excuse me, how can we help you?"
Oh, excuse me. I would like to request a meeting with Nirod.
Nimrod.
Nirod.
Nyrod?
Nyrod.
Are-
Nyrod.
And who exactly are you?
The Glimmering. Oh, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Winifred Rosacei Bloodbane the First.
All right.
And
Quick intimidation check for me, please. with the laugh there.
All the eyes laugh too.
Yeah.
He's gonna wiggle.
They look at each other like
that's a 14.
14. They look a little nervous at your laughter, but you can continue.
Anyhow, I would just like to speak with him.
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude.
Neither do I.
Miss Winifred.
Fred. All my friends call me Fred, and my enemies, actually.
Fred. Are you a dignitary of some kind?
I am quite dignified, yes.
Do you have a writ of nobility or an ambassador's seal or anything like that to get you in here?
Well, I am a member of the Arcanum from Aneria.
Oh, you're an outlander.
Yes, indeed. And you are an inlander, I take it. Is that what you call yourselves?
Typically, we call ourselves Arconians.
A Highlander. Do you wear kilts?
There could only be one.
No, that's other crazy kingdoms, and they both kind of
That's-
chuckle at an inside joke.
Yeah, that's another realm. There's only one person there.
Yeah. Now, as much as we want to let just anybody into the seat of the dragon,
Oh, you shouldn't let just anybody in.
no, and definitely not people who come up claiming that they're from another realm and representing some organization that's supposed to be dead for thousands of years. I think that we're going to have to ask you to leave. Thank you.
Oh, well, that's not going to work for me.
Well, I'm afraid that's how it's going to be.
Allow me to pray about this moment. She's so pretty day in her life. Dear, whatever is out there, if you can hear me, please let me know how I should proceed. My insides say death and murder.
Are you saying this out loud?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that the right choice? I will await your reply.
So the guards are kind of like
Amen?
they're reaching for their swords at this point. Give me a will save, please. Or not a will. There's no will save. Sorry, I'm thinking Pathfinder.
You're thinking of wisdom.
Wisdom save, yes.
That is 16.
16. One of your eye stalks suddenly shoots a beam at the dragonborn on the left. This beam flashes out from the eye stalk. We're not going to cost you any charges because
Okay.
this is not in your control technically.
Okay.
And you see it hit the dragonborn on the right, and his flesh starts to harden and turn to stone. And he's like, "We're under attack!" And the other one is going to actually lunge forward at you.
Oh my.
Uh,
Death it is.
so let's go ahead and grab
Thank you.
a trio of attacks here.
Or thank you. She doesn't know where to look, up or down. For answering her prayer.
First one is an 18 to hit.
That will miss.
Okay, and then we have a 19 to hit.
Miss.
And a 25 to hit.
As a reaction, I will... What do I do? Cast a shield.
A shield, which increased your AC by 5 and turns that into a miss as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Dragonborn comes in with his greatsword and slashes you once, and you duck underneath it. Tries an uppercut, you dodge to the side, and then he swings around, kind of predicting your hit, and you bring up your psychic shield and kind of deflect the blow. Let's go ahead and roll some initiative here for you and these Dragonborn. Meanwhile, you guys have gotten
Initiative
to...
against Madame Mello. Got
Yes. You guys have gotten to Madame Mello's.
Oh, sad. I rolled a 1.
And she let you know basically where to find Fred. We'll go ahead.
Ma'am,
So now we're sprinting,
are
obviously.
you missing any orphans?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Fred has not been here.
Oh, Fred has been here. If that is who you're talking about, your
Are
friend.
you sure you have
Yes.
all your orphans?
Yes, she didn't take anything. She was pretty set on a dragon, but there are no dragon orphans here.
Oh,
That makes more sense.
I
makes more
sent her
sense,
to
yeah.
the seat of the dragon because she was very interested in speaking with one.
oh.
Let's go. They have buttresses that are fresh there. I've never
That's
seen
the
before.
that's the sprinting. It's not the thing that Fred's in danger. It's
That's where Kes is.
Oh, but also Fred, yes.
Oh, Fred, yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Here, I take 50 of these.
Oh, thank you very much. We appreciate the donation.
I have no idea what the exchange rate is. How much was it?
Do the donations... do they...
Going by what I've already told you, you're looking about 5 gold.
If I donate something, do you like cut out a paper balloon and put it on the wall with my name on it, or do you name a kid after me or something?
No, we don't have
Name a
anything
kid
like that.
after you.
I don't want to waste money. Have a good day. I'll walk away.
All right, so we've got.
Sorry to waste your time.
We'll say that it will take you guys several rounds to get here.
It's like, what's his name from when in the office when he tells the entire
Tots.
class?
Scott's Tots.
Scott Stotts.
Yes.
I'll pay for
That's
your
like
college.
the one episode I can't
So
watch.
cringe,
Yeah.
right? Like, that, like, discomfort.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fred,
that
what was your
too
total
much
on
for
your
me.
initiative?
Oh, a whole 4.
Whole 4. Okay, perfect. So the first to go at the beginning of the initiative round here
Is the dragon.
is the one that attacked you at first, actually. No, you know what? You need to get around in here as well. So it'll be your turn as far as it goes. Basically, this is the end of round 1.
Okay.
So that worked out quite well. Okay, so what would you like to do at this point?
I would like to... Well, she thinks that the answer to her prayer was...
Death and destruction.
Yes.
Carnage.
So that's what she's choosing.
Okay.
This is not... Eve would not do this.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, this is your character. You can influence them a little bit.
Probably should, but I'm just gonna lean into what
Lean into the chaos.
I mean-
what she does.
There was that, wasn't there that shadow figure? Or was that Aramis?
No, that was Fred's.
Threads.
Mhm.
As a bonus action, I am going to cast Shadow Blade.
Okay. Death and destruction. It is pull out the rose blade, which we'll say is just in blade form, longsword form.
Its current name is Death and Destruction.
Death and decay.
And
And then again, like your shadow almost like peels up and hands you your other sword.
thank you. So, I will attack. Oh, not a good roll. That's that. So that is a 14 to hit.
14 to hit. 14 will not hit.
Okay. Second attack. Much better. And that is a 26 to hit.
26 will hit.
I used that.
Okay.
Okay, excellent. So, let's go back and remember what it does. Yeah, we haven't fought for a while, so forgive me. It's gonna take a second. So, it deals 2d8 psychic damage on a hit.
Okay. You just cast it at the basic level, is that right?
Yeah, and we're just in what type of light, by the way?
This is bright light. It's not dim
Okay.
light. Yeah, because it's the middle of the day. You guys are out in basically a courtyard.
Well, it doesn't hurt to aim.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. For 6?
For 6 damage.
Yes.
Okay.
And so it's just the two of them there,
Yes,
the
correct.
two.
and they're
Us.
guarding a door.
They're guarding the entrance. Yes.
You and I.
Okay. Well. Okay, thanks. That's good for now.
All right. Well, then, top of the round here. Let's see.
God.
Scott, would you roll me a d10? I want to see how many rounds it will take you guys to get here. That's technically, we'll play fast and loose.
10.
That was 10 rounds? Okay. So that was 1.
Look at the buttresses.
This is round 2 out of 10 before the party arrives.
There's lots of... We get lost in the lower tunnels somehow. Somehow we went there. I don't know why.
The Dragonborn is going to attack you back, and he just says, drop your weapon and get down on your knees. And the highest attack is going to be a 12.
That's yes.
Okay. You manage to basically deflect his 3 blows pretty easily there. Let's see. The other Dragonborn cannot do anything because he's restrained at this point because of the flesh to stone. So he's going to actually rear back and breathe out this kind of golden fiery breath that is going to
sparkly.
encompass you and the other one. So roll me a dexterity saving throw, please.
15, 16, 17, 18.
18. So you make your save, so you only take half damage. It seems to be like reinvigorating the other Dragonborn and sealing up the kind of slight wound that you made.
Okay.
So that is going to be a total of... I'm just going to use the average here because, well, no, it's more fun to roll, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Always. Just need 6, 7, 8, 1 short. Can I have a D10? Thank you. Because that's the fun sound. The clickety-clackities.
The clickety-clackities.
Yes, bread attack with snicker snack. The Jabberwocky.
Cut in half, 24 radiant
Mathomancy.
damage. Mathomancy. Here you go.
That's cut in half.
And here's a dice for letting me touch your dice.
Oh, thank you.
That is the half. Yep.
Okay.
That is the half damage. And then he is going to make his saving throw. And just check the DC here. It is continuing to be like restrained, so it's got basically one failure against your save at this point. So flesh to stone, for those of you who don't know, is you're restrained after the first failed save, and then you basically roll death saves to turn to stone or not.
No.
And if you get 3 successes, the spell ends. If you get 3 failures, you are petrified for the duration, which is 1 minute. Okay.
And then you die.
It's just petrified for the 1 minute. If the creature is physically broken while petrified, it suffers similar deformities if it reverts back to its original state.
Breaking its head off.
If you maintain your concentration on the spell for the entire possible duration, the creature is turned to stone until the effect is removed. So,
Be like
essentially...
a remove curse or something.
Yeah, like a remove curse or...
Like a potion or something.
Yep.
Like a
the
restoration.
basilisk one that we made.
Yeah, like a
yeah.
restoration. Okay. Then it is your turn again, Fred.
I will attack the one.
Dallin, can
Yes.
you roll me a d12, please?
Of course. 6.
Okay, thank you. So you're going to attack the one that's attacking you?
Yeah. That is a 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
All right. Where did my dice?
Are there any horns or anything that go up in the city that would indicate?
Yes, there has been like an alarm horn that has sounded at this point. And you can see guards like rushing towards the seat of the dragon. The center of the dragon.
15.
I have a strong feeling. you
15
should be
damage?
there as
Yes.
fast as possible.
You don't think she would?
I think maybe we should just run
She
I told
would.
a
you.
different way.
Is 19 to hit?
19 will hit.
Every time I'm not there, someone tries to burn the building.
And that is for 11.
I can try to teleport us there.
We'll end up in the
Distract. I wish.
Oh my.
Are you
Fly
attuned to
with
the helm of
dragon.
teleportation currently?
In a world
Okay.
apart.
Yep.
And actually, with that last one,
That's
I want
another tail dragon. Yep.
to use
Or transporting.
I want to be the big one.
oops. I want to use one of my psionic
It's the first isekai.
energy die
Okay.
to add in psionic strike with that.
Okay, so
Now
add some
it's the
extra
seat of the
damage.
dragon.
One more
Scale
1d8 plus 4.
Oh, sorry.
That's another 8 damage.
Another 8 damage.
Has at any point has it been visible? Like when we were landing, could I have been like, "Oh, that's kind of cool"?
Yeah,
I
you've
can
seen
see the landing
the
area.
dome structure. One other point that I should note, in addition to your magic not recharging at a long rest, magic items are the same way. You have to recharge them by being in a city and going to one of these like magic fonts that you saw, basically.
Well,
the pillars.
in character, I have no idea about that. So.
Well, yeah. I'm just letting you know as metagame knowledge because it makes sense for magic items.
I'm also using another one because to use my telekinetic thrust, because when you deal damage to a target with your psionic strike, you can force the target to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. They do not make their strength saving throw.
If they fail, you can knock the target prone or move it up to 10 feet in any direction, and so I'll just knock him prone.
Okay. Knock him down. Was that the first attack or the second attack?
That was with the second attack.
Second attack. Okay. All right. So, anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Bleep 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 bloop bleep bloop blop.
Bleep bloop, blop,
Bleep,
bloop,
bleepity blop blop.
bleep bloop, bleep bloop, blop, bleep blop, bloop, bloop, blop. Do some scat. Cause I'm a scat man.
I feel like I'm
Skibbidi-bidi-bidi,
riding
dum-dum.
on that
Skibbidi-bidi-bidi-bidi.
giant like dinosaur thing in Mario.
Yeah.
Classic.
I'm going to try something as a bonus action.
Okay.
I'm going to use telepathic speech
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
with the guy that I just knocked down.
Okay.
So, speaking telepathically to him, I'm going to try and, like, intimidate him and speak in, like, another voice.
Okay. Go ahead and roll Go ahead and roll
Okay.
me an intimidation check.
What are you gonna say to him?
Oh, poop.
Oh, poo.
That's not very.
I don't say that to him. So that, let me add one of these in. So that is 16.
Okay. And what is it that you snarl
I'll
into?
say, stand down. Stand down. Don't you stand down.
Okay. So you'll find out the results of that in just a moment here.
Okay.
Alt. I would say that as far as teleport goes, this is a viewed once situation. because you've seen it, but you haven't seen it casually that much.
So, counterpoint, just seen casually is someplace you've seen more than once, but with which you aren't familiar. Viewed once as a place you've seen once, possibly using magic, so like maybe a shrine.
Oh, okay.
Can I like on the way in we were looking at it, plus it's been pointed out a couple times to us.
Okay. I'll go ahead and give you seen casually.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Are you ready?
I don't like teleportation. Makes my stomach.
I'll get there
15.
and barf.
15. And where exactly were you aiming?
I was aiming towards the seat of the dragon.
The top of the dragon seat.
Like you were aiming just at the dome, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I will say that your mishap, because that is a mishap, is you are technically on target. You are on top of the seat of the dragon. You're probably, like, the three of you, like, are 50 feet up on top of the seat of the dragon.
Wow.
You are looking down at Aldros around you.
This is a pretty cool view.
This is probably illegal, I would assume.
Can you see her?
Seems like a religious, heretical thing.
Oh yes, I didn't think of that. Maybe
Okay,
like
well
going to Scald seat. Do you see anything?
Everybody give me perception checks.
Perceiving at
Perceive the dragon.
13.
18, 13.
Perceptions.
Perception.
It's not that one. That is a 15.
15. Yeah, you guys can pretty much all, like, you hear the commotion, at least, and you can see kind of the flash of magic and the breath as it kind of flares up into the air for this round. So you know the direction that you need to go. So everybody give me initiatives, please.
Risinger, come!
Come on, baby.
Yeah, and it definitely, like, appears in, like, a blast of fire this time for you.
That was awesome.
All right, Bolt, what was your
18.
initiative? 18. Okay, Aramis.
26.
Okay.
Because it was
Dang.
almost a 20.
Nice.
Hey, girl.
Oh, my stars and
Victor.
garters.
22.
22.
Ridiculous.
Okay. Top of round 3, Aramis, it is your turn.
Okay, where is this fight happening in relation to me?
So you're probably like pretty much on the center of the dome. You're 50 feet to the south is where you're
So I
hearing
need
the
to
basically.
basically get down one of the
Yep.
sides of the dome. Okay, in that case, I'll dimension door to the bottom of the dome.
Okay.
But that's my action.
Mhm.
And then I'll just move 30 feet towards the battle.
I think dimension door. So are you going to come down pretty much as the closest that you can see to the
Yeah,
dome?
as close as I can see, like in a straight
Yeah.
path, so I don't mess up and
Because you can't quite like see.
Yeah, so I'm
her
kind of
at
just
this
kind of
point, yeah.
peering. I'm like, okay, I'm going
Yep.
down there, and then I'll.
And then you come out through the dimension door. Can you bring one person with you? Isn't that what it says?
I bet you're right. Let me just check. Yeah, I can take a willing creature, but let me make sure if I have to upcast it or something. Let's see.
I think it's just the base is you can take one
You
willing
can teleport
creature.
With your
yourself.
size and smaller.
You can bring along objects as long as they carry their own weight. You can bring one willing creature of your size who is smaller, of your size or smaller. So yeah.
Okay.
Are you technically my size?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
both
medium.
medium.
Okay,
Yeah.
you've got Brazinger, so I'm gonna grab you and we're gonna dimension door.
Okay. Yeah, and you come stumbling out. You see one dragonborn is kind of like struggling as he's turning into stone, and another one is like engaged in. Well, actually, he's on the ground. Fred is like over him with kind of let's say a murderous glint in the eye. You know,
A murderous ring around the eye.
ring. Yep. And then it's Victor's turn.
All right, guys, let's get on. And then he'll like do the kickstart thing, and like the side cart will like appear, and I'll look around.
The dinosaur scroll kind of like roars as it comes out and then flips.
Yeah, and it's making motorcycle noises.
Sorry,
obviously.
no one here to ride, and you go away.
Yeah.
And I'll fly down. 50 feet.
50 feet. Yeah, you can
Fred,
basically
what is going
get
on?
right over the battlefield. And then Bolt, you can.
It's free action. Talk. What is going on, Fred?
They're not letting me in to see the dragon. And I prayed about it. I was told murder was the answer.
Solos.
I'm the only
Pranked.
follower. I'm the only follower.
Pranked.
Pranked.
That needs
much-
to be in the thumbnail for this episode. Pranked.
How far away once the 50 feet of flying down?
Basically, if you move 50 feet,
How far away is she?
you're pretty much 10 feet above her at this
Are
point.
you sure this wasn't a misunderstanding?
Potentially. I don't know.
Oh dear.
I don't know how prayer works. Was I pranked by a god?
Has he hit? Has
Rude. You're fired.
Your God.
Fred, does he hurt you?
I'm fine.
Does she seem
Tis
like
but a
she's been hit?
scratch.
You did get hit, right?
Yeah.
Yes. She does seem like
Victor will attack.
Oh, no.
That's a 3 because he'll see it as more of defending than being an attack.
Okay.
So he's going to use Cinder Hearth. That's going to be a total of
So
14.
this is a ranged attack.
Range attack. Though.
Give me disadvantage because he is prone. Well, no, you know what? I'm going to say no because technically you are hanging over him, so he is just as normal of a target.
You just do this.
Yeah. So, sorry, what was the total on that again?
That is a 3, so it's 14 to hit. I'm going to throw a epic dice in there to try and boost that. So that is a
It's like,
15.
it's like the scene when balls.
Wait, sorry, that's a plus 11. So that's
O'Neill.
going to be
He's like holding
16.
the knives.
16 to hit.
16 total? Yeah, that'll hit.
We need to get an epic die, like, stinger, so we can just be like, epic die.
Yes.
10 is the damage base. I am going to re-roll one of them. We're going to roll it just because we know it's going to not do
Yep.
anything.
Mhm.
Hey, I doubled the damage. That's so 1's 2. So that's 11
efficiency.
damage. And is she adjacent to him?
She is adjacent to him.
I'll get sneak attack. 27 sneak attack.
27 plus
Ooh.
11.
That's a spicy
38.
sneak attack.
And this is Cinder Hearth, so this is with Cinder Hearth's damage. I don't know if fire.
You can use that once per day. So if you want to
So
use
he's
that
going to
here.
use that fire damage of the 2d10, and I don't know if he's fire dragony, but Victor would use it anyway. 2d10. Come on. Give it to me. That is a total of 10 damage.
10 damage.
Fire.
Okay, so
damage.
that's a total of 48 damage that you dealt.
Yes.
So basically, you're like, I'll defend Fred, and you throw Cinderhearth down, and it slams like right here, right through the plate, and nearly into his heart. And he lets out a roar of pain.
Do not hurt my friends.
Bolt. Unless Victor has anything
I
else.
thought Aramis would be before me.
No, Aramis went
Oh,
to
you
Dimension
I
Door.
dimension
Yep.
doored you. Yep.
So you're down at the courtyard now. Probably about 20 feet away.
I think this is all a misunderstanding, and I'm going to run over to the petrified one.
Okay.
And I'm going to pull out the
Am I gonna get Stern talking to again?
the potion of
I can't handle it.
basilisk poison that we
Okay.
turned into the
All right.
anti-petrification potion.
Yeah.
I had 2 of them,
Okay, perfect.
so I'm going to take it out and I guess just pour it on him because he probably can't drink it.
Well, he's like, it's like creeping up his body, so
Yeah.
he's probably okay.
Hurry, drink this. It'll save you.
Roll me a persuasion check with disadvantage because you're basically like with the people trying, like, here, drink this. It's not poison, I
Here's
promise.
poison.
Well, good thing that was a dirty 20, so.
On the disadvantage?
Oh, with just.
Yes. Was that a natural one?
Dice.
The
Give it
scales are just.
dice.
He will knock
wait,
it out of
wait,
your
wait,
hand,
wait.
and
I have something.
you have something.
Well, actually, I don't care. I don't want him to live. I have. It seems like I have something where like I can make you.
Is it the silvery barbs?
I've got silvery bars.
Yeah.
That's for re-rolling enemy attacks.
Correct.
So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never
Yep.
mind.
So you reach for it, and he's gonna just like swipe it and knock it out of your hand, and it goes spiraling away and just crashes to the ground. And he goes, "I will have none of your poison."
Does it shatter?
Yes,
The stone actually turns to
like mud.
like mud.
Yeah. And like he doesn't notice it. Well,
Told you.
he doesn't notice it. He's too busy
Your
glaring at
salvation
you.
and
Okay. Was that an
Salvation.
action or a bonus action to try to hand it to him?
We'll say that was an action. because you were trying to basically feed him a potion.
Okay, I will. Where is it? I will action surge,
Okay.
and I will grapple him.
Okay. I believe you get advantage on
Double
this
restraint.
because of-
No, I think only if I'm big. I'm not big right now.
No, I think because he's restrained.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yes.
So go ahead and roll your strength check. With advantage.
Can is better, but it's not great.
You grab him so hard it breaks his
All right,
legs.
so
Now he's legless.
Legolas.
that is
Legolas. But you're elven.
19.
Blood has been
19. Yeah, you have success.
I grapple him and I literally turn his head, not like break it. Like I told you, it's to help you, and I want to pull out the other one. I can't grip it because I'm that'd be an action, but
Okay. Give me another persuasion check without disadvantage this time.
9
Okay.
plus 2, so 11.
Okay. We will find out the happenings there in just a moment. Dragonborn number 2
You owe me a potion.
is going to stand up, and he's going to kind of like wipe his mouth off and grab your dagger and yank it out and just toss it unceremoniously to the ground.
You bastard.
And he's going to look at you and he goes, "I will never back down." And then he's gonna actually touch his hand to his chest, and you can see this kind of golden light flow through him, and he's gonna regain some hit points.
Bahamut be with you.
Luckily, he doesn't know you can boomerang that big.
Okay. Dragonborn number 1 is going to take his turn. And he's going to like look back and forth a little bit, and then he's going to grab the potion from you, and he's going to down it.
And I will. Can I have free action? Just let go of him.
Sure.
At that point.
Yeah. And it's going to basically end the flesh to stone and all of the hardened chitin or whatever.
You owe me a potion, and I'm going to turn my attention. Start. Obviously not.
Tell
halfway
your
my
friend to
turn.
stand down, or we will take her down.
I think you'll find that's quite hard to do, but I will try my best.
We will take all of you down if we have to.
She can't die.
Ah! That is a good break.
Fred, it is your turn.
Okay. Let me think for a second here.
You just lie and say, we worship a god of battle, and this is the best way to
Honor
get
them.
attention and honor our gods. Yeah,
That's true.
they'd have to respect us because we're for it.
That's true.
Oh,
Hey,
we should have
just-
went
just-
to the. We should get. Should have went to the embassy. And like figure out how to get diplomatic immunity first.
Oh no. For what it's worth, Victor at this point will fight back to back until
Okay,
The
I'm going to
dragon comes
use
one or the other
spanks
banks.
us.
Kasha's Mind Whip.
Oh, okay.
You psychically
Watch me
lash out
whip.
at one.
Watch
Watch
me
me, nay. Yeah.
I whip my
At
hair
one
back
creature
and
you can
forth.
see within range, the target must make an
That's the
intelligence
psychic
saving
part of
throw.
it. Listening to this songs, right?
Okay, an intelligence saving throw.
Whip it real good.
They do not make their save.
On a failed save, the target takes 3, a D, a 6. Psychic
A
damage.
D, a 6.
That is 12 psychic damage.
12 psychic damage. Okay.
And it can't take a reaction until the end of its next turn. Moreover,
Ooh.
on its next turn, it
Moreover.
must choose whether it gets a move, an action, or a bonus action. It only gets one of the 3.
Nice.
Okay.
Fred used confusion. It was super effective.
Yeah, so you kind of, like, as you're deflecting these sword blows as this dragonborn comes back at you, you kind of extend one of the tendrils psychically in your mind, and this kind of purple eye stalk just, like, whips around and slashes right through his head, and he stumbles and, like, clutches his head a little bit. He looks a little dazed.
Stand down.
I was going to say the same to you. top of the round 4. Aramis.
Right. Okay.
Unless you have anything else.
Nope.
I don't want to fight. Okay, let's see. What can I do here?
Too bad. The fight has come.
Fight is up to you.
I'm going to run up and try and get between Fred and Assailant.
Okay.
And basically just yell at them to stop fighting. And then I will take a defensive flourish so that I can bump my AC in case they try to do something.
Okay.
Question for you.
So that's
Does Fred know
9 more to my AC.
that beam came from...
Yes.
Okay.
Fred does know that came from the ground. So yeah, the Dragonborn is like, he's clutching his head and he goes, I was going to say the same to you. And he kind of swings at you. And all of a sudden Aramis is there, deflects the blade. And then...
Enough! Must we fight?
Yes.
Enough!
I do not go blah blah blah.
Blah, blah, blah. I love it.
all right. Then it is Victor's turn.
How convincing is
Should I roll a performance?
He'll falter. I
Okay.
think at Aramis's words, but the second that he sees anything advance as far as like danger, he will retaliate.
Okay.
But he will fly between, not between, but basically kind of like side to side, defensively with Fred.
Okay. Sounds
The
good.
music swells. It's the Avengers theme.
Yeah.
We're all there together.
On your left.
Can you roll me a perception
Or
check?
right, sorry. I got backwards.
Or not perception.
I was flying up, you were on my
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
left.
How about a dirty 20?
So the Dragonborn takes a step back. He's got his sword on the defensive. And he says, you will lay down your arms immediately.
My arms are attached.
Lay down arms. Fred, we good? Can we
Yeah,
it's up to Fred at
this point, I think.
peacefully? I'm gonna put my sword away.
Why
Fred.
don't you see if you can persuade me?
Whatever happened, I'm sure
Well,
it was a
that's what I was
misunderstanding.
asking you
Yeah.
while putting my sword away and like turning my back to them, so like they technically could just stab me in the back right now if they want.
I really don't know how this prayer thing works, but I'm pretty sure my prayer was answered and I was told to end this with blood and murder.
I mean,
Would you
I understand.
reject a
Wholeheartedly.
god?
Would Aramis reject a god?
You raise moral quandaries that are not suited for now. We discuss later, but I think we have a larger mission. Do we not?
Well, at least I did a bit of damage.
Fine. I'd be disrespectful had we not fought a little, I think.
You're right.
That's true.
Are we okay?
No.
What's your call?
He touched my dagger. He owes me his finger.
They don't know our customs.
You can ask him about that later, but for now, lay down our arms, everyone. Are we in agreement?
Your blade just like...
All right. He'll drop it. Oh, boom. Just sit and hover.
I will unstrap the shield and sit on the ground.
Okay.
And so telepathic speech lasts for 3 minutes.
Mhm.
So as a bonus action, I will just say to him, "You will regret this."
You'll regret this.
In a creepy voice.
Oh, you know exactly what voice it's in. It's not in your voice.
No,
it's
not at
his
all.
voice.
Ooh.
Yes. Playing the pronoun game. Oh yeah. I'm not very good at the pronoun game, but I can play it. But do you lay down your arms then as well as you're saying that? Yeah. The shadow blade, you just kind of let it dissipate. Lay down the rose sword or put it away.
All right. We've laid our arms down. Now you lay yours down.
Yeah, that's not how this works.
I'm sure we can work out whatever happened.
Since you're new, I'll let you off. I won't take your finger, but if you touch my daggers again, I will kill you.
It's kind of a religious thing with him.
We should take you all into custody at this point.
Well,
You've
I
attacked
did
guards of the
just
city.
stop a massacre of your people. You should be grateful, and that alone should get us off the hook.
So at this point, the doors to the dome open up, and several of these like red-robed mages, dragonborn mages, come running out, and you see that there are now like wyverns circling overhead.
Oh, this is fun.
And
We're a little bit
the other
outgunned.
dragonborn, the one that was turning to stone that you rescued, comes over and he places his hand on the first one's shoulder, and again that kind of wave of healing goes over, and they kind of like nod to each other. And the one says, "All right, you wanted to get inside the dome. I guess that's where you're going to go."
Actually, I wanted an audience with Nyrod. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Who is Nyrod?
Oh, he's the dragon here. Nyrod the Glimmering.
We have to start the fight with the dragon.
If they had just given me an audience, none of this would have happened. And quite frankly, my little buddies up here kind of did their own thing. I have no control over them.
That's what started this.
Maybe.
You really should get that looked at.
It's just a misunderstanding. It's a new item. You didn't read the manual.
Exactly.
Happens all the time.
Is there a place we can go and talk about everything?
Yes, we're going to be taking you to another location.
To Nyrod, I cannot wait.
No.
You said inside the dome.
Yes. Please come with us slowly. No sudden moves. And they're going to like start leading the way. The mages and like some other guards are going to start like flanking around you. A couple of people actually do start coming over with a box to collect your weapons that are on the ground.
On the plus side, we got a really up close and personal look at the buttresses. They were very well crafted. We were up on the roof. I don't know if you saw us come down.
I did not see you, but I'm glad you got to look at the butts.
One of the guards comes over and approaches your daggers floating there, and he's going to start reaching for them.
I will warn you. Should you touch those daggers, I will take your fingers. Should you touch them a second time, I will take your hands.
If you make any sudden moves or try to attack us again, we will take you down.
Are you saying that you're going to defy my religious beliefs?
Are you saying that you're going to defy the natural laws of this city?
I will if it is in an honorable thing.
Give me a persuasion check for you, please.
14 to persuasion. 7. So that's going to be 22.
21.
21.
If you do it carefully, you can place your daggers yourself in the box.
I will put them in the box, but no one is to touch them. But me.
And so he'll slowly set them in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
very,
it's-
very ceremonious.
It's definitely that scene in the movie where more weapons.
Pulling it out of his
yeah,
boot.
yeah, absolutely.
He's got one like in the back of his hair.
The needle.
Yep, the needle.
He takes one of it. Yeah.
Your quill. It goes and lands in there.
Okay, so once all of the daggers are in there,
And he'll fold it up like
A piece
very.
of sharpened chalk.
And he'll like just take a
A
moment.
shiv from the last time he was
And
in.
he'll put his hands on it and he'll say, "It's okay. I'll be back. Don't worry."
One of the butter knives that we...
yeah.
He's not actually controlling it, but it's just like hanging out.
the guard looks a little oddly at you, but doesn't
But
question.
and when he does this too, like it's like ceremonious in the fact that like he's on his knees, like slowly. It's
Like whispering their names as you
Yes.
like play.
So you have to like pick up the pace once you got everything in to catch up with everybody. But as you all enter the seat of the dragon, maybe not in the way that you intended, we're gonna go ahead and call it there for the evening. Good episode, everyone. Really intense, really fun. Thank you all for joining.
Dumb ways to die.
Yeah, I had a moment of panic because I realized that I couldn't remember if I switched it from my face cam to everybody's face cam, and
The
so
whole
like
time.
yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, this whole episode if it's just been my face, that would be horrible.
That would be lovely.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us what you thought of tonight's episode. Obviously, there's a little bit more going on with Fred's crown than she anticipated. That's a little fun. Or maybe it was the will of the gods. Who knows? I know. And you might be able to find out if you join us on Twitch or YouTube on Fridays. I do tend to spoil a lot, talking about behind-the-scenes stuff there.
That's a perk for our biggest fans.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're watching this episode, the poll is over, but we are going to be recording the Torrey's one shot, and that'll be next week in place of our typical off week. So you won't have any interruption in Tales of Aneria. Because we got some
I'm gonna make
stuff
some
coming.
weird shit.
Perfect.
Are you sure?
Me too.
You're probably gonna be the weirdest of the bunch.
And then, of course, thank you to
third.
Syrinscape for your wonderful sounds tonight. That was okay.
That is an evil horse.
That is a very evil horse. But thank you for joining, and have a good night.
Bye.
Yeah, we're not doing that. All right. Good job, everybody. Hopefully I finally got you to use some of your epic die. I've been handing out a lot, but not requiring a lot of rolls
Yes,
recently.
I'm trying so hard to be true to Fred.
I'll do it.
No, I think it works fine.
It forces us to do
As
the
long
yes
as-
and thing and like, wait, how would
As
our
long as
character
you are
make
having
it?
fun still, that's
Yeah.
it's
I
okay.
am having fun.
Yep.
If it ever gets to the point where you're just like, your morals or something, you're like, I can't do this anymore.
That's
then-
when the character growth happens.
Yeah.
Is when
yeah.
when
Yeah.
you're no longer having fun with your crazy character.
And it's time for
to
2.0.
Yep, it's time for them to go through a big character arc and find themselves for the rest of the series.